Welcome to the Nick and Matt Show, bringing the player interviews you want to hear and the hot topics you want to discuss. Recording live in studio, here's Nick and Matt.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Monday night to everyone out there in the world. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee still. Matt, you're up in Leicester, Massachusetts. Tonight's episode is presented by Cosmic Disc Golf. As I'm being told, we are on number 114. Not 113. So every week that number just ever so slightly increases. But we're stoked to be here tonight. It seems like we got a little star-studded lineup going on. A lot of fun topics to talk about. I know everyone really wants to hear Nikko's side of things about the European Open. And guess what? In about 20 minutes, we are going to unlock all of that for you guys.
We're afraid to say so because we can't control these athletes. I'll tell you what, they're wild animals. And I mean that in the most respectful way. Like, you got to be that way sometimes to get to the top. But we do have Nikko lined up. We have confirmation of that. I just spoke to him about 30 seconds ago, and he said he's good to go. We did not even tease this one at all. But we have how many world championships coming on the show tonight? Six. That's right. Paul McBeth, everybody. He's also slated to come on after the Nikko interview. Incredible show. This is an off season. I have a lot to talk about. Thank you, Cosmic Disc Golf. I keep teasing it out there. I'm going to do it again. There's an announcement coming from their social media, their website right around the corner. I just got some information on it today, but Cosmic Vibes, check them out at Cosmic Disc Golf on Instagram and the website cosmicdg.com. All right. We've also got Evan here. Can you go? Let's take a look at Statmando in the house, everybody. Evan Kearns. How's it going, Evan?
What's going on? It's going good up here.
Is there enough happening so far in the off season for you? Does it even feel like an off season for Statmando?
I mean, we've had a few silver events. We've had a few other notable events happening, and then doing all the off season stuff on top of that doesn't really feel like the off season, even though we're doing off season stuff. Just as busy as full season, but hey, that's not a bad thing. Disc golf is fun. It's not quite like winter yet either, so it doesn't feel like the dead of no disc golf yet. It's weird. Like, this wraparound is weird, and I'll talk about it a little bit later, but it's kind of like, really? Did we actually start the 23 season? Like, is the 23
yeah,
season.
Is the excitement going to actually be there? Like, of course it is. It's the Elite Series that we're excited for, and those aren't coming for a while, but all right. I just wanted to throw this out there before we get to the review of the New World Championship, what happened there. I saw this today, and I don't remember who posted it. I feel bad, probably PDGA or somebody. Disc Golf Fanatic maybe is their social media. So 130 sanctioned events. Can you imagine doing that in 1 year, in one season? 130 PDGA events.
Yeah, that's literally playing every Saturday and Sunday, and that's also playing multiple flex leagues throughout the week. Like, that's just
someone did this?
Yes,
yeah,
so
someone did
player
this year.
103214. If you look it up, you might be able to do some cool stuff here.
Yeah.
But 103214. I forget his name. I want to say it was like Mike or something, Michael. But
yeah, Michael Haberman.
Yeah, Michael Haberman.
If you look at his stats, like generally just like events, you'll see a lot of flex starts, which makes sense. There's almost no way you could play anything. Like, if you're playing every weekend 2 events, right? Am my math correct? Like, that's still not even 130 events. So like, you got to do 3. It's almost like 3 events a week. And that's just epic. And that's costly. And like, wow. And he's rated like average advanced men's player.
930s plays MA 40 for the most part, and he's got a ton of wins this year.
Dude, the chat just shouted out this hoodie here. I'll just say shout out to Prismatic Gear. It's pretty cool. Thank you for sending it up. So 130 sanctioned events. That's good. I mean, the record before that, my understanding was 126. So there's someone else who's trying the same thing.
I think it was set by him again.
No. He outdid somebody else.
Okay.
Yeah, he only played like 40 something last year.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, I have him having over 100 top 5s, and his average round rating was around 929, but he went up 10. He was 919 last year, 909 the year before, and 898 the year before that. So he's getting steady improvement.
Epic.
That's crazy.
Epic. So anyways, I just wanted to throw that out there. With that tidbit out of the way, and as we get ready to line up Nikko here for his interview, let's go to the recap of what happened at New World, the venue championship. So go ahead, Evan.
Yeah, we'll get the jokes out of the way because Paul McBeth takes it down, and he's the 2022 world champion and the 2022 new world champion. I think that's hilarious, but it's going to be a dead horse. It may already be a dead horse.
He's the new world champion.
He's the new world champion and the old world champion.
The reigning world champion.
He takes it down. He wasn't leading after the first round. It was actually Isaac Robinson, who was probably along with Garrett Gerthy and Ezra Aderhold and I guess Brody Smith too. So there was a number of top 50 players, but it was a thin field. Paul McBeth takes it down with an 8-stroke victory. Like I said, Isaac Robinson was leading it after round 1. In round 2, his brother Ezra Robinson made it on lead card. It was actually the first time there was ever brothers on this same lead card at a Disc Golf Pro Tour event, which is very cool. It's not the first time that there's been 2 siblings on the same lead card. The Mandahanos did that earlier this year at OTB Open. And I'm sure it's not the first time that brothers have done it at any, silver, elite, or major. I've heard of the Rico's doing it in the past, and I'm sure a few others here and there throughout the history. This is Paul McBeth's first silver event win. It sounds kind of funny, the decorated veteran finally getting a silver win, but he hasn't played that many to begin with. He only played 4 going into this. 2 of those were Belton, where he finished second by a hair. To I think Ricky both times. Maybe it was Calvin, one of them.
No, Chris won it.
This year. That's right. Yeah, good call.
Yeah, I don't know who won it last year, but
it was Ricky last year for sure, because that was like one of the best battles of the year, and it was a silver event.
Gotcha.
But yeah, very cool over there. I mean, it's kind of his new hometown. Moving down to Florida, I believe it's right down the road from him, pretty close. And
I think it's within an hour.
Oh, okay.
I know apparently Jacksonville is one of the biggest cities actually in the U.S., and he's on the beach side, and I know the New World is more inland, but I'm pretty sure it's within an hour.
Very cool. And on the women's side, Maria Oliva takes it down. Her first ever tour victory. It's actually her first ever tour podium, that being majors, elite, and silvers. She's had 5 top 5s before this weekend. But they've all been just barely outside the podium. And I think most notably, thanks for going full screen right as that happens.
Perfect.
Most notably U.S. women's. She was doing fantastic there. Ended up falling off just outside podium. So this wasn't her highest cash of her career. She actually made more from U.S. women's and more from Ledgestone, and then of course the Tour Championship. But it is her first win, finally breaking through and getting that first win.
Well, there was a few awesome things there, both of them getting their first wins at silver events. So congratulations to them. And then you mentioned the Robinson brothers. I thought it was pretty I don't know what the right word was, watching Ezra Robinson as he finished out the round being probably upset that he didn't have solo third. He had to share it with his brother. His brother, not being beaten very much by Ezra. And yeah, I think having this, I'm calling it an off-season event. I'm still not used to it. And that had to me the more of the vibe of not all stars, but it had that vibe of like off-season, but like I want to have microphones on the players. Like I want to have that more casual feel. It kind of had that just what it was. Did you notice if you watched live, it was, and I'm apologizing. I met the guy, forget his name right now. PDGA radio. What's his name?
Grant Zellner.
Thank you, Grant. Great voice, obviously, for radio. He has a history in that outside of the PDGA. On TV, it came across very professional as well. So,
yeah, he's definitely commentated before on Disc Golf Network. I think he did another silver or 2 this year, maybe 1 last year. So he's done a few, but not a lot. But yeah, he did a great job holding it down.
I was going to say, he actually on Friday had to hold it down by himself. I think the last 2 or 3 holes, because Earhart went to go to Jeremy Colling's wedding. Shout out to Jeremy Colling and Jules Colling now. They got married this past weekend. Pretty awesome event. But yeah, so that was cool. He actually held it down. I remember videos way back in the day of like Avery Jenkins doing solo commentary on a whole post-produced round. And I'm like, I just can't get into this. The whole solo commentary is kind of wild. And then, but for a couple holes, he made it work out fine.
All right. So yeah, new world champion. That is a funny name, but it's good. It's good to have the off-season events starting to be here. Now, what is the next silver event? Is there one, or is it next up All-Star?
It would be the new one in Texas.
Okay.
Right? The next silver one.
That's how into it I am right now.
a few elites before that, though.
Yeah, there's a new one in the Houston area. Am I right? I believe that's
we're all just like
the next silver.
Texas. Didn't Texas States go down to a Silver Series this year and then open at Austin now turned into the Elite Series event?
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. And Texas
so it goes
States is in the
Waco.
Houston area.
Yes, because I know apparently Texas States rotates every X amount of years. And so this is one of the years that it's rotating. So it won't be the same course that they had played last year out in Tyler, I think it was.
Yeah, this year it was.
Yeah.
And before we move on from New World, a little bit of a fun fact that I came across today. If this event, let's say, happened last year, or at least counted for the 2022 season, guess who would have been your MPO points leader?
I can just take a wild guess. And Paul McBeth.
Yeah. Paul narrowly missed out on the points lead last year by less than 5 points. Even with the old criteria of silvers being worth 25% of an elite event, and winning would get you 25 points, that would knock off his lowest finish, which was I think like 14th at Beaver State last year. So the point difference there would have been more than 5. He would have gotten first place. Kind of funny, and that would have, maybe not changed anything in the Tour Championship, but may have affected Player of the Year for the Disc Golf Pro Tour, which we'll get later. So
who is the points leader on the MPO side and the FPO side now that we've had 2 wraparound events?
Right now for the 2022-2023 season, we have a Luke Sampson in MPO still leading.
Yeah.
He had a quality enough finish to hold on to it. Ezra Aderhold in second, Kevin Kiefer in third, Paul McBeth moves up to fourth, and Andrew Fish gets fifth.
Nice.
On the FPO side, Sarah Hokum takes the number 1 spot with Holly Finley in second. Macy Villa Diaz drops to third, tied for third actually with Maria Oliva. They both each won an event, but only played one and only one. And then Dean Carey finishes out in fifth.
Okay.
So this course that they have played, this used to be the Pro Tour finale course, correct?
In 2017 and 2018, yep.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the course? I thought it was kind of little lackluster.
I'm going to let you guys go back and forth a bit here. I'm actually doing some tech stuff with Nikko on the backside, so keep talking.
All right, do it up. I thought personally it was a little lackluster in the sense of like, I don't know, it seemed for the most part really flat, and then I don't know, the holes in and of itself like just kind of seemed repetitive. I don't know, just it didn't wow me. It was fun to watch disc golf, don't get me wrong, and watching Ezra and Isaac play against each other was actually really cool because I think they both have 2 very different styles of game, and Ezra bombs the disc. I don't know if everyone noticed that, but he absolutely rips it. And but they both just have this awesome spin putt to the basket, and Isaac's is insane when it's on. But
yeah, I would agree that it's a little bit lackluster. I mean, to me, it seemed actually like the perfect silver kind of winter event. Yeah. Not a super exciting course, but not a grueling course, but also not easy. It played pretty well. The scores were about kind of what you'd expected, at least for the MPO side. For FPO, it needs some tuning. The scores were a little low. But it seemed, good enough. Now the question, it seems like a great place for spectators, but the question is like, how interesting is it for spectators, both on the ground and watching on Disc Golf Network? And I think it can have some improvements there. It kind of feels like where disc golf was like 2 years ago, so it's not that bad.
Yeah,
but it kind of reminded me of the Preserve, but like not having all the improvements that the Preserves put in. I tweeted this, so I'm not trying to repeat myself, but if they just threw out some mulch just around the baskets, it doesn't have to be the whole circle, but just a little bit of like a bullseye, I think it would just make the course pop a little bit more. They have that one hole that has kind of the elevated railroad tie green, where it's kind of like a small landing zone, and they put mulch on that and it looks really good. It pops. If they did that more often, I think it would be fantastic. But I think it's not like a totally wide open, ball golf course as you would see it.
Yeah.
It actually it feels like it has enough challenge to the total airspace. So I think that's all good. I think it just needs a little bit more kind of landscaping type of things to make it have that feel.
Yeah. A little more pizzazz to it. Make it pop a little.
Yeah. Pizzazz. That's a good word. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it was really fun to watch. I actually really enjoyed watching the FPO coverage. I know Deanne Carey was leading after round 1, and she was just coming off of a Myrtle Beach Open win. So she started out pretty hot, but then watching Maria be able to kind of she was putting really, really well, and then also just throwing the disc very well. And on a course like that, where there is a little bit more open space, she definitely has a pretty good distance. And like I said, just putting well. So all in all, was definitely fun to watch. It's nice to still be able to watch disc golf in November. It's jealous that they were probably playing in 60, 70, maybe even 75-degree weather. And they were actually pretty fortunate to be able to play the tournament as a tropical storm had gone in the week of. And so I know a lot of people, we were talking about it in our group chat, we didn't know if they were even actually going to play the event. So pretty awesome that the Pro Tour was still able to get everything going with that.
And I think Florida obviously sets up so well to have these, November and possibly December or January, off-season events. I think even if they're only silvers for this time, I think that's fantastic. Just gives us disc golf to watch. I mean, the event was exactly what we kind of expected it to be, where, it was disc golf. It was cool to watch it if you tuned in. It's cool for us to talk about it right now. But the event wasn't a huge deal, all things considered. But it's still, we're just getting points, keeping players fresh, keeping just the content coming and the reasons to still follow disc golf. And that's exactly what it should be. And I'm excited for the future where, it's not going to be a stacked schedule in November and December, my guess. But, we have 2 events in November, 2 events in December. I think that'd be really cool in Florida, or the Gulf would be good places. I mean, I don't know if we get to Arizona, that's a whole other topic there about where else the tour could go. But I liked Florida, and I thought that works well.
All right.
Yeah, and I think, one
Wrap it
last
up.
thing really quick. I think the silver event actually played, the last 2 silver events have definitely played more like silver events, to where you did have the one 1040 rated guy, where it was kind of in Paul's hometown. And then with Lake Marshall, Chris Dickerson is somewhat nearby that, so he came up to that one. But we saw Luke Sampson take down a silver event, and then Paul taking down this one. But had Paul not gone to it, you would have seen, obviously someone else take it down, but it might have been someone like Ezra Robertson or Garrett, who doesn't win too often on the Elite Series stage. So the silver events are finally, I think, starting to play out more as the silver tour should be played, where it's not the most stacked field in the world. You're getting these players like the Lukes and them who can kind of make a name for themselves on that.
Cool.
Yeah, in 10 seconds, Matt.
Do it.
I agree with that, because the field strength, if you look on StatMan, our field strength for 2022 and for Disc Golf Pro Tour silver events, in MPO, these were the 2 lowest strength of fields. And in FPO, it was the second and third, with only Sula being lower.
That was
That's all I
Ben.
gotta say.
Not
They're exactly
the
what you're
field
getting
of
at.
strength.
Yeah, that was
The
Ben.
field of
Here.
strength, yeah.
We want to do this before we bring in Nikko, who everyone's here for. We get it. I brought this in studio. It is called Safari Knockers. Now, you're like, what is that? So let me tell you. Look at that's. Oh my goodness, this is the hardest native wood in the United States. It's called hickory, and I had the experience of using Safari Knockers on vacation with my family in the White Mountains, and we just walked around on trails. You're not carrying a big basket, which is exhausting and bulky and not really doable, but you get these set out there and you can put them anywhere, anytime. It's an adventure course dream. Wherever you imagine it, you can collapse it into pieces you're seeing on the video on screen that fit in your bag. It's an awesome product. It's named Safari Knockers. They're ultra portable disc golf targets. They only weigh 4.5 pounds. So how portable is ultra portable? Well, I told you, and you can see it on screen. It can fit in your disc golf bag. It's what makes Knockers perfect for taking on disc golf adventures and for playing safari golf in places where courses do not currently exist. So that's the big thing about Safari Knockers. These I'm very proud to talk about. The extreme craftsmanship. If you like handmade, if you like supporting disc golf startups, Safari Knockers are for you. Check them out at Safari Knockers. They're $88, and it will last you. I mean, this is not my claim or theirs, but it will last you forever. These are a quality product. So definitely check them out. Where do you want to play? These do not limit you. Get out there and play Safari Knockers. I can't wait. We're going to do a video or something with you guys. I've had the pleasure of using them for a few years now. They're new and upgraded now, guys, but we'll get you in on around here soon with them. So. All right, without further ado, it looks like we finally got all the bugs out of the system, and we got the man himself. Let's bring it up. Nikko Locastro, everybody. Welcome to the show, Nikko. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Wonderful. I don't know what it was, but something worked out, and here you are spinning a Frisbee or a disc on your hand. And what disc is that?
This is a V2 Jackrabbit right here with this custom mandala stamp. You can't really see it, but you can kind of see it here.
Yeah. Wow. That's
Nice swirls to it.
nice
Yeah.
swirls. So what's going on, man? You got anything going on lately?
Oh man, there's so much happening right now that I'm just I'm trying to get out in front of next year. So I'm just I'm working directly with the crew over here at Lone Star, and just a lot of planning and preparation for next season. But we're working through some processes over here, and I feel like everything in my life is finally in a very positive direction. I've been working really hard for a long time, and I feel like I'm having a breakthrough here. This is going to be a breakthrough season for me. On the disc golf course, I'm hoping that I could put up some solid numbers and just continue to do what I feel like has been my calling in this life is to be a lifelong disc golfer. And now I feel like I'm having some breakthroughs on the business side, which it just feels really good to be involved in this company and to be in the position that I am right now.
Okay. Let's do this. You have a lot going on, and there has been a lot going on, and some of it has been public. Some of it you've probably done on your own private time. A lot of that is probably private time. You're busy now. Let's go back just a little bit and let's get it out of the way. There's, the elephant in the room, if you will. Some things went down at the European Open. Do you want to tell us about that at all? Like what happened there?
You're trying to dive right in. I thought we'd save that for the end.
I like to do the Lone Star. It's called the compliment
sandwich.
Like
to butter anything up. I was going to ask you how the whole relationship between Nones,
No, I want to end with all the good stuff. Let's go.
I'll dive right into it. I'll make it short and sweet. People make mistakes. You have to own up to those mistakes and figure out a way to move forward. And here I am today. I feel like after all these things that I've been through, there's finally a clear path, and I see that working with Lone Star Discs. And they agreed that they would be molding discs for a branch off company called Sacred Discs. So I'm personally trying to keep my headspace in a clear direction, which is always moving forward right now. So whatever happened out there in Europe, I feel like I took the brunt end of it. I've been off tour. I've been away from what I love to do, and it tore me apart. If I'm going to be honest with it, I feel like that was a hard situation for me to work through because it was just a very tangled web. I was involved with two companies, and things didn't quite work out the way I wanted them to. But that doesn't mean that I'm gonna quit moving forward. It's a building block for future success. Unfortunately, I feel like I did make a mistake, and it's just something I have to own up to. I know there's a lot of rumors and a lot of talk about that situation, but the facts are, a new year's about to start. We're about to be in 2023, and I'll be back competing in February.
Okay.
I was just about to ask, so your appeal went through with the suspension. Can you kind of talk about that a little bit and how the whole process went down with that? Just give us a little insight on it.
Well, I reached out to a few people to try to find like the best direction, figure out the best way that I can move through this process. And I knew it was going to be a process, but luckily I found some people in the disc golf community that were lawyers. So I had two lawyers that were involved in helping me file the appeal. And I wanted to go about it in the most professional way possible. And I feel like I had good people on my side. Now I feel like I went into it, and I went through a depression, man. Like those first couple months were like really hard for me to accept that I'm not able to continue my career in a temporary way. But thankfully, the PDGA did lower that sentence. I don't know, when you say sentence, I feel like I was in like PDGA
Yeah.
something. But to be it turned me into a recluse in a way that I kind of just like, I spent a lot of time inside. I mean, I played disc golf every day, but I had a lot of extra time on my hands. So a lot of positive came from that extra time. I was able to really focus on business and try to like put myself in a position to become, get to the brighter side of the shitstorm that I was in, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so there's two things I want to ask here. One is just generally, I mean, that live disc golf moment gained a lot of traction, What are your thoughts on it? I mean, you did the appeal. Do you feel like it was blown out of proportion? Like, this is your personal opinion. I mean, it's your voice.
Beyond blown out of proportion. I mean, are you kidding me? Let's be serious. There it was a 35-second, 1 minute situation that changed the course of my life. So yeah, I would say it was definitely blown out of proportion. But then again, I gave a lot of people the view, and they seen me at my worst. So it's really up to me to allow people to see me at my best in the future. And that's what's most important to me right now is I want to be respected by everybody that I know and everybody in the disc golf community. You know, like that's important. I am a man of respect, and I want to share that respect with our community. You know what I'm saying? So I just gotta accept that this was a turn in my life. You know, it truly, to me, it changed the course of my life, and it gave me a lot of perspective. And you know, I think you have to get through trialing times in order to be satisfied in your life. And this has definitely been one of the most trialing periods of my life.
What do you think, and this may come off as very obvious, but I'm interested in your response. What do you think was most trying about it? Was it like the voices that you were hearing from, like, who knows, the vocal minority, majority, whatever? Or is it like the fact that you weren't able to play disc golf events? Like, what was the most trialing part about it for you?
Man, you guys had a plan on this. You want to get into the nitty gritty?
No, that actually is coming up just based off our conversation now. Actually, that's not a question I had down, but I'm interested.
I think the most trialing part for me was really the public opinion on me. I feel like it really did kind of tear me apart to see so many people that would say hateful things about me, and they really don't know me beyond 1 minute of video coverage when I was in a tough spot. I put myself in a tough situation, and the way that it was displayed and viewed, and it was only strictly about, you know, it was hurtful. I'll just say that there was a lot of internal pain, and obviously the punishment that came with that, especially from, you know, I mean, who knows how many memes. I gotta have the most memes ever created of any disc golf in the world. So I broke some type of record.
Is it possible, Nikko? Is it possible? And I mean this with all due respect, that any of those memes at all made you smile or laugh?
Really? I mean, I can laugh about it now, but at the time it was just it was difficult to, you know, so many people tagged me in like the most hateful messages and that could ever be on the internet. I felt like I've endured a part of this cancel culture that's out there. I feel like the world tried to cancel me, and my energy is just, I'm so filled with determination right now that I don't know if too many people could truly relate to what this has done for me energetically. I feel like it's really hard to explain. It really is hard to explain because there was some pain. You know what I'm saying? It's really like I feel like it destroyed a part of my soul and my well-being to have so many people that I felt like were against me. But on the other side of this, the amount of positive support and encouragement that I've had from members of our community and friends and disc golf fans that have followed my career, it reminds me that there's a lot of love out there. And, you know, a part of me was losing faith in like mankind for a little bit. I was like, holy shit, how could this be? You know, you would never think that within 1 minute I shed physical tears. I cried myself to sleep out here, bro. Like it was really hard. It was not something I'm proud of, man. Like it tore me to pieces. It broke me spiritually for a period of time, but the growth and the amount of like positivity that I see on the other side of the problems that I have been faced with is monumental. You know what I'm saying? It's like I actually see a very clear path and a very like bright future for my future successes in the disc golf world. It's like being out here in Texas, like when I go to the courses out here, and the amount of like within the culture, I feel like I have so many fans and people that support me and people that make me feel loved, that's what I'm focused on. I'm focused on all that love that's out there and all these people that I can connect with. You know, it would be important for me to change people's opinion and their view on who Nikko Locastro is and what I'm really about. You know what I'm saying? Like people that know me on a true level, that have like come face to face with me, and we've had real conversations about life and not just the disc golf related talk that everybody has. Is like, those are the people that know what I'm about. And those are the people that I want to work hard for my support crew. There's a lot of people that have encouraged me to be my best. And there's no better feeling than to have people that care about you and people that want to see you do good. Like that's a good feeling. Like that's something that I could take with me like every day.
And talk to us on how, go ahead, Matt.
No, I was just going to kind of wrap that up. And I just want to say, like, we don't try to make this about us or whatever. You're the spotlight right now, but like I've struggled with what people think about me, and in the very small microcosm of what you have for like followers, right? Hundreds of thousands of people, if not more, know who you are, and you get to experience an ounce of the hate that, you know, a small percentage, and maybe it's 10,000 people. You get to experience that. I'm relating internally, feeling this for you at some level, right? Not even close to what you experienced. I'm sorry you had to feel that. I mean, as you said, there's a lot you're learning from this. Can I ask this? Because I feel like this is something that I like to give an opportunity to do here. What do you think is the most misunderstood thing about you?
Who I am, what I stand for, what I feel like I'm a piece of the disc golf culture. I've put every ounce of energy and faith and commitment that I have within myself. I've poured it all into the sport of disc golf, and I want people to see me at my best, man. You know, I really do. Like, it is so important I want the whole community to like to see that this is an underdog story. This is a comeback story. Like, I feel like I am somebody that has walked through these fires. Like I feel like I've been burned in different ways in this world. It's just, you know, like I've struggled with some mental health issues, and it's not something that many people really like talk about, but I feel like I've suffered from some type of temporary depression. You know, you put yourself in a state of mind sometimes that it's almost impossible to see how good the world is, and you kind of have to find things that you appreciate every day. You know what I'm saying? You have to focus on things that are positive in order for you to like have a good feeling about. I'm grateful, man. Like through all of this process that I've had to go through, it's like it's given me gratitude that this community is really tight. Like we have such a strong, committed community of people that accept each other, that love each other, that people that look out for each other. I mean, like I feel like every time that I go to a disc golf course, there's 5 new doors that open for me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's just, that's the type of people that play disc golf. You know, we have some of the best people in the world, and I want people to consider me, you know, one of their friends, somebody that they can look up to. Mm-hmm. You know, yeah. These are goals of mine for long term. Is like, I want everybody that meets me to say that, hey, that Nikko guy was pretty cool. You know, we've had him wrong for all these years. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I gotcha. That makes sense. So taking the negativity that happened earlier on this year, sponsorships and stuff like that, and bringing it now into the positive side of things to where your Lone Star agreement just hit the waves of disc golf. And now we've, you know, that kind of went trending all over disc golf. Nikko signs multi-year deal. We've got new discs. You were saying, is it the Sacred line?
Sacred discs.
And so you have all that. How did this even come about? Yeah. When did the conversation start? You know, we want to know all this stuff.
When did they reach out to you? Like, what we want to know the deets, man.
If you really want to know the details, I'll get into it. I really like these guys within this company for multiple reasons, but really they reached out to me when I was at my worst. They reached out to me when I was going through a very problematic time in my life, and that said something to me about what kind of people that I may be working with. So they sent me a couple boxes of discs. I gave them a fair trial. I emptied out all the other discs in my bag. I put in the Lone Star products, and I've practiced my ass off with these discs. Like, I'm on a mission to succeed, and I truly believe that this company believes in me. They have faith in me that we can work together and we can do good things within the sport of disc golf. Like, there's such a good crew of people here that I just feel like things are going great. I'm just going to be honest. I'm in the best place that I've ever been in, mentally and internally, and just like I have motivation, I'm determined, and I also have a group of people that believe in me and my potential. So that's a very satisfying feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Is there any chance in this age of contract announcements we can get some dollar amounts here? Or?
I'll tell you this, that I made more in 60 seconds than I did all year last year.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
So good contract.
I'll tell you that. So
You're happy.
I'm pretty happy, man. We're working on so much over here that I feel like by February, by the time the tour starts, I'll be exactly where I want to be, and hopefully that can really help me just like relieve any type of pressure, and I could just go out here and do what I love to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys have followed my career. You know, you're avid disc golfers. I have no quit. I will not give up on something that means the world to me. And this sport means everything to me. And not just being able to succeed and get first place. I mean, it's always been about that to some degree with me, but really I'm going in here with the mindset that like I truly feel that I am part of the culture of disc golf. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like I could fail. The only way there's one quote that I truly live my life by. The only way that you can fail at anything is to give up. And if you continue to push forward, you're only going to learn. So a temporary failure is really just teaching you how to do it the right way.
I couldn't agree more. I was just thinking the other day, like, do I want to lose more in my life or win more? Because losing makes me have to push harder. So I don't know. I thought that was interesting what you just said. So people say your passion. What was that, Nikko?
Well, I was just saying that temporary feeling that is a loss is when you look back on it, you gained wisdom. You gained the feeling of working through the process. And there's no better feeling than overcoming a challenge. I feel like that's part of the meaning of life is to overcome no matter what. Everybody in this group has been faced with challenges. Everybody in the world, our community, on the course, there's something that you have to learn how to work through it. You know, that's part of it, man. And like, I feel like I have enough work ethic to push over any hump. There's nothing that my determination can't push through. And I know that.
I gotcha. So we're seeing all the determination and the positivity that you're spreading out here right now. What are, when it comes to actually playing disc golf, what are the goals going into the 2023 season? Like, what do you consider a successful season at this point in your career?
I'm honestly just going to do my best and accept that whatever happens. I have a very strong belief in myself. I'm so confident in disc golf that I would bet anybody in the world. I'll leave my discs at home. We can play out a guy's bag. We can play out my competitor's bag. I'll leave my discs and we can just show up with anything, and I'll bet you whatever I got.
That's so awesome, because when we had Rick on, I don't remember, a month ago, we were like, dude, He should put up $1 million challenges out there for people to beat him. And he's like, well, it depends what course. But like Nico's saying, like, I'll play your bag. I love it.
He should call me up first.
Yes.
There you go. Well, we gotta figure out the match for disc golf. You know, we gotta set those up throughout the tour. Yeah, it's the match like they do in golf.
Okay.
Right now, but
I think I know the answer here. You've thrown a lot of different plastic over your career. As you said, we've watched your career. And when you pick up one of these Lone Star discs, like how does this compare like to anything else you've thrown?
I think they have a premium quality product. I feel like they have good plastic, and it's only going to get better. They've only been around for 2 years, and they have 27 molds.
Yeah.
And they have an entire crew of like very driven individuals that everybody in there, they have insight, and they have it seems like they're running a tight ship over there, and things are looking good. I believe in the product. I'll just let you know that I believe in Lone Star discs, and I'm just going to keep practicing, and eventually I want my scores to speak for themselves. I would like to go out there and shoot some of the hottest rounds of 2023. So that's one of my goals. Is I want to put on for this company, because they put me in a good position. So I want to do my best to perform, and after 6 months or 2 months or 3 months, or even the fact that I've been here I haven't left Texas. I just went to I went to the headquarters today. I'm showing up there when the place opens so we can get to work. I'm here to work. I'm not here for handouts. I want everybody that I work with to say, I'm happy that I made a decision to work with this guy, because look at him. He's unstoppable. He's not going to stop.
Mm-hmm.
So we're pushing forward. I came to them with a business plan. I didn't come there asking for money. I came there, hey, this is the ideas and the projects that I'm bringing to the table. And they decided that they're going to partner up and help me expand with collaborations with Flight Club and Lone Star, and also have them, mold discs for my own line of discs, man. I feel like I'm finally where I want to be in my disc golf career. So there's no better feeling than where I'm at right now, man.
That's right where I was going. The brands Flight Club and Sacred Disc, that was announced as a part of the agreement here as something coming up maybe for 2023 or 24, somewhere in that range. Are they still owned by you? Can you tell us more about that deal?
Just stay tuned on the deal. Just stay tuned. You're going to see plenty from it.
Okay.
Yeah. Give us an insight on like when you go to create a disc, what's the first disc that you feel like you want to create for yourself?
I'm basically looking at exactly which molds they have, and I'm gonna try to fit my molds right in between. So that and anybody that's going to be involved or sponsored by Sacred Discs and Flight Club, I would like for them to also have direct access to Lone Star discs, and that's something else that I want to get going on. Is start a Flight Club team. They could throw a mixed bag, but because I have access to Lone Star, and they're giving me 1,000 discs for the year, so I could afford to spread the love and get some people out there rocking with Flight Club and Lone Star and Sacred Discs, man. I feel like I'm having fun, man. I'm having fun. I'm doing it. I'm working with artists. I'm working with the community. I met this guy at the disc golf course yesterday, and he's a 2-time Taekwondo world champion. We got to talking. I told him I'd give him disc golf lessons, and he could do some UFC training with me.
Ooh. Okay, so you're having fun. You just brought up UFC. What else do you do for fun? I mean, you're really busy right now, but generally, what do you like to do?
I like to work.
Okay.
I like to write notes, and I'm gonna write a book. So I spend a lot of time writing poetry, and I spend too much time on Instagram, man. I think I'm addicted to damn gram. My screen time is probably at least 5 hours a day, if not more. I might be, I don't remember, but I spend a lot of time I'm messaging a lot of stores. So I'm lining up accounts for Lone Star Disc. So for the viewers, if you're out there and you're interested in, carrying the product, contact me, Nikko Locastro at live.com. I'm just trying to spread the message. As soon as I sign that deal, I've already had the vision. I just want to be able to promote myself and promote a company that believes in me. So I want everybody to know about their entire product line. they're making really good discs. I think they basically fill the gap. They just showed me their new Speed 13 driver, and it's a bomber. Like, it's basically a disc that I could fit right into my bag and fill a slot. And the owner of the company, he's a really nice guy. Like Terry, I think he understands me, and he also like sees the vision, and he believes that what I'm bringing to the table is going to be successful.
So you do Instagram, but I want to give you credit too, like things like junior disc golfers. I'll notice that, I mean, you're probably liking a lot of stuff, but it seems to me like you go out of your way to encourage the younger generation coming up. Even me, a dad of 2 boys, my 8-year-old won the world championship this year. My 12-year-old, you've been following for a while. I noticed that like you'll go out of your way, and I'll tell him, I'll be like, yo, Nikko Locastro just saw your video and he liked it. And you should see the smile Nikko it puts on their face. So keep that up. That is appreciated.
Yeah.
Any other sponsorship announcements? You mentioned a lot, but I mean, any other big things coming down the pipe that you haven't announced yet?
I started working with Smack Disc Golf Bags, and we're about to release a signature design collaboration, a Flight Club designed pattern on the Smack bags, and we finalized that. That's going into production, so I'm hoping that'll be available within 30 days, before Christmas, and I think people are going to be really, really happy with that design. I put a lot of time into it, and I think my projects are really going to surface this coming year. All the things that I've been working on that it's really hard to put so much effort into things without seeing them fully go into fruition. And I think this is the season where people are going to start to see Flight Club. They're going to start to see Sacred Disc. This stuff's going to be popping up in stores, and it's going to finally be available. I feel that there's been a demand for some Flight Club apparel and some hats and products, but it's really been an uphill battle to try to put a business into motion while continuing my career path as a professional disc golfer. It's been like a time crunch thing, as you guys know, with just like trying to get a business off the ground, it takes 1,000% effort before it really goes into motion.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
10,000% effort on this. So
that's awesome.
Great time.
So you've got all the business stuff working right now. You've got, you're practicing disc golf still now, and this isn't to be any sort of negative nanny or anything, and not to bring up the European Open stuff, but one of the things that, we've, as let's say media people have talked about in the past, is time-wise during your rounds, and there's multiple players who, Gannon, Philo, multiple players out here. How are you working on going into next year? Let's say the rule stays the same as, the second you get to your disc, you're on a 30-second clock. That's something that does get brought up. Have you been working just more so mentally? I know you talked about how right after European Open, you actually stayed out in Finland for a little while, was working on your mental stuff. You said you've struggled with mental things in the past. Just more so, just talk to us about, has there been any mental training when it comes to actual disc golf rather than mental training of your personal life and everything like that?
Yeah, I believe there has been some, like personal commitment to make sure that I'm not out there trying to like purposely break the rules or nothing, but I think that I've got my putting routine locked in right now, that I'll be ready, and I'm going to make sure that I go under the 30 seconds. I don't want to give any reason for people to criticize me, although no matter what, everybody in the world's a critic. So it's, I have to give people more of a reason to like me and to want to support me. I'm not a cheater. I'm not out there trying to get over on anybody, and I just want people to have respect that I'm a competitor. That's what I want. I want people to consider me one of the most all-time most competitive natured disc golfers of all, in the history of our sport. That's my goal. I just want people to say that was a true competitor, That was somebody that just never, he was still able to win in his 40s.
Yeah.
Did we miss anything, Nikko? Anything tonight talking about?
I think we jumped right to the European and on my tangent about this and that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So, hey, there's stopwatches available at Nikko Locastro.
Yes.
So I've got really nice stopwatches available for anybody that's trying to, keep your buddy. They want to, play a little Calvin did on me or whatever. Yep. So, stopwatches, NikkoLocastro.com. Check those out.
I'm gonna do that. Are we for real here?
Yeah, pull it up.
I'm dead serious. Go look right now.
I am. Hold on a second.
Let me know.
Okay, go
Shout
go
out.
to display 2. Go to display 2. Hold on, let me see here. Flight Club. We got hats.
Keep going.
There it is.
There it is.
I
Let's
can buy, and it's
go.
branded Nikko.
That
Look
is
at that.
amazing.
All right, let's go back to the cameras. This is good. Have friends that take the time to line up their shot. Oh, this is nice, Nikko. It's been a pleasure and a privilege to interview you on this. I haven't heard it anywhere else, so we appreciate you coming on the Nick and Matt show to talk about it.
We're not done. We're just getting into the promotional stuff.
Let's
Dude.
do it. Let's do it because we actually have a game too. We know you're
Fiction.
competitive.
Yeah. What are we gonna flip quarters for 20s? What are we
No.
gonna do?
Awesome.
We'll make it a gambling stream.
If you are ready, we do have a game lined up. We should get into it. So let's hit the intro on Stat or Fiction. Here we go.
Is it that commercial you were trying to show
Yeah.
us?
Hit it. Stat or Fiction. Okay. Stat or Fiction. Presented by Stat Mando. Evan Kearns of Stat Mando. This is Nikko, if you didn't know, and he's going to try to beat us out tonight.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, let's-
To quickly go over the rules, I will say a statement, and you guys each will let me know if you think that is a stat, as in it is true, or it is fiction, as it is false. So it'll be one of those two options. You got to tell me which one it is. And let's get right into it.
And Nikko, by the way, we'll let you show these discs before you go, but we don't mind you showing them now either. Okay. Go ahead, Evan.
All right. We saw Paul McBeth kind of walk to a pretty big victory at the New World Championships. He won by 8 strokes. Going back a little bit further, Paul McBeth went 18 down at D-Glow and won by 9 strokes. So he didn't beat that. But the stat or fiction is the 2018 D-Glow victory for McBeth was the largest margin of victory in his career for a 3-round silver, elite, or major.
Okay, so any tournament on the Pro Tour since 2018, it's his largest, was the 2018 D-Glow. That's what you're saying.
He won by how many?
9 strokes at 2018 D-Glow. That's his largest margin of victory at a 3-round tour event.
Woo. Okay, we're going to set this up. Nikko goes last in this first question, so Nick's going to go first. Give us your answer, Nick. Is that a true statement, stat, or fiction?
I'll go stat.
And what did you say New World was?
8 strokes.
Oh, 8. Why do I feel like this was his first silver, so it wasn't another silver? I'm going to say stat as well. What do you got?
I'm gonna say stat as well. I feel like he shot 18 under and winning by 9 shots on an elite level. That's just it feels unheard of. But
Yeah.
I played with Paul McBeth in that round, and I shot it decent. Again, my whole career gets overshadowed by Paul McBeth 18 under. No, he's been an incredible talent in the sport, and I'm gonna say it's a stat, but it's a coin toss. He very well could have won by more. I mean, he's incredibly talented.
Real quick before the answer, Evan, I just wanted to hit on that. You were there for that round, weren't you?
Me, yeah.
Yeah.
He just kept throwing it. If he was far off the fairway, he'd throw it in. He almost shot a 19 under. I remember he almost one in hole number 3, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man. All right, Evan, what is it?
All right. This is fiction.
Oh wow. Okay.
Stumped all y'all.
At least L.
Yeah, actually 2017 Masters Cup. Paul won by 10 strokes.
Oh,
I
that's
thought
when
you
he
said
shot the
since
course record first now.
2018.
No, that's just when he shot the
no,
18
that was
down.
when
Oh.
that was his whole career.
Not that I would- not that
I would
2018
think-
D-Glow.
I was trying to think of another 3-round event that he could have done more at, but yeah, he shot like a course record first round at 2017.
Yeah, the guy does have numerous other 10 plus stroke victories, but they were at 4 rounds or longer. I mean, European Open, I think, was a few, and
He's a freak. He's some type of freak. I think he's like sometimes just like used to get this like eye twitch. I don't know if you guys remember those days, but one of his eyes would just start twitching, and we used to, talk about that on tour, and then he would just go numb, bang, just throw it in for me.
That's so funny, dude. I love your stories. All right, what's stat or fiction 2, Evan?
All right. So speaking of Lone Star, I went down to Texas to bring up this stat. Talking the highest round ratings in Texas. Ricky Wysocki holds the highest round rating ever in Texas with an 11-11 at the 2014 Texas States.
Wow.
That is the highest round rating ever in the state of Texas, the Lone Star State.
Do we know? Is this it? Are you tricking us on the rating, or you're saying that is the rating? Like, as in that's what he shot. He shot 11-11.
Well, I mean, that's the question. I'm not going to like.
Well, no, you're saying it is the highest. I'm not asking you if it's the highest. Like, which is it? This is why it's a trick question.
Yeah, always put me on the spot. But all right, I'll keep it simple for this one. I don't like always doing this, but Ricky Wysocki did shoot an 11-11 rating at 2014 Worlds. So is that the highest rating in Texas history?
I was just feeling like there was technically two points to that question. That's why I had to break it down. Okay.
I do put it that way. It could have been 11-10, but I wouldn't do that. You know that.
Okay. So
this is all events in Texas, not just the Texas State tournament.
That's pretty high. That's pretty high. But I mean, there could be some outlier, but that's hard to be an outlier at that high. I'm going to say stat. What do you got, Nico?
I'm going to go with stat, just knowing that he's definitely been the most all-time dominant player in Texas. I think he's won almost like at least half of his tournaments that he's probably ever played in Texas, as I'm guessing. He's won a lot. I think he's won several tournaments like multiple times too. And like probably won he won that Texas State's that end of the year tournament. They said it was like his 6th time in a row or something.
Yeah, he's 6 or 6 at Texas State's. He has won 46% of his Texas tournaments. He has 13 wins from 28 events.
Yeah,
give him stat.
It's funny because I want to say stat because 11. It's hard to beat that heavy round rating, but I do remember watching a video, and actually I think Nico was a part of it, and like Nolan Grider, there was another tournament where he shot an 1100 rated round, and I don't know if it was more than what this one is, and so I'm gonna hopefully get right. I'm gonna say fiction.
All right, let's see what it is.
All right, this is a stat.
Okay.
That is the highest, and it's actually the only round that's over 1100. But there has been a 1099 by Ricky Wysocki at 2017 Texas States, a 1098 by McBeth at 2019 Waco. I mean, that's got to be his 18 under, I'm assuming. I believe that was in 2019. And then Joel Freeman actually has a 1098 from the 2022 Crush on the Concho.
Well, I've never been tied with Nico in anything before, but we have one more question to decide the tie break. So let's go.
All right. Well, this one is about Nico, so let's get into it.
Advantage Nico.
Nikko Locastro is the only player to win an MPO Major or Elite Series event in all 3 decades of the 2000s. Whoa. So he's the only player to win at least one event between 2000 and 2009, one event between 2010 and 2019, and I should say at least one event between 2020 and eventually 2029. And that's MPO Majors and Elite Series.
Oh, dang it. We're not going to make Nico go first, though. It would have been his turn, but that's just not fair. So it's going to go back to Nick. First? Yeah.
I'll go stat. So if I say stat, that's saying he won one in 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s.
But he's the only player to do that.
Oh.
In MPO Majors and Elite Series.
Oh, that is tough. So this could be tough for Nico even. He can know his side of it. I'm thinking like, I know Nico back Vibram Open days. Like then I'm thinking up, what was the other?
A real stat. That would be cool, but I don't know. What's your guys' pick?
Yeah, I got to go.
I said stat.
USDGC, that counts as an event, Evan?
That's a major Elite Series.
Okay. Is he the only one? I feel like, wow, you had to do some research here. I'm going to roll the dice and say, yes, it is stat.
Man, well, I definitely don't want to take this L, so I'm going to say it's a stat too.
Right.
I'm protecting myself to not take the L.
That's smart.
Steve Falco, let's go.
Smart.
All right. Well, this is a stat.
Oh.
Nico, you won the Memorial, which was a national tour, and USDGC, which was a major in 2009. That checks off that decade. You won numerous between 2010 and 2011, which checks off that decade. but you went from 2011 Alabama Disc Golf Championship until the Preserve in 2020 before you won your next one, which was in the next decade in 2020, and of course Waco in 2021.
Years, I thought I was winning the whole time. Every day I woke, I thought.
Wait, he didn't win since 2011 to 2020?
That's crazy to think about.
What was Vibram Open?
It wasn't an elite, apparently. That must have been that was back when it was a big tournament. Nico, that was a big tournament.
He won in 2010, which was a national tour.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh.
I
thought it was 2013.
Wow.
Oh, no, that was Paul's. I'm sorry.
So,
yes, it is true.
You're telling me that I beat Ricky and Paul in something?
They didn't win any events in the 2000s decade. Or sorry, they didn't win any MPO majors or elite series in those in that decade.
You guys had to dive in there pretty deep. Man, that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat.
Stat
Yeah,
Mando
there's stats
is
over them.
bringing the stats. Now,
Bringing the that's awesome.
okay,
I
so
have a
we got to
list of
break the tie.
players.
We got to break the tie.
Yeah, so what I'm going to go with. I have a few different ideas. I didn't actually come up with a set one. Well, let's do this. In the 2010s, Paul McBeth won the. So this was just from the list of all the players who won events between in those 3 decades. Paul McBeth in the 2010s had the most majors or elite series wins, and these are most standard majors and elite series. So standard stroke play.
Hey, come up with your answer. Like, get it in your head. Then we just pick this. So
how many wins did he have in that decade?
Oh, how many wins?
It's got to be a number to see who's closest.
Oh no, how many wins?
How many wins did Paul McBeth have between 2010 and 2019 at standard, elite, and majors?
And it's not Price is Right rules to where
I've got a number.
Over or under? What's the over or under here?
No, that's for us to choose.
That's you guys deciding.
All right, I've got a number down in my head. Nico, do you got one?
No, I want to hear what you say, and
of
then
course
I'll.
you do. 170.
That's how these things work. What?
170
wins?
Yeah. You said standard, right? That's any event?
No,
so that's
elite
just standard
series and
stroke
majors.
play.
Oh, I thought you were saying like
Majors and
standard
elite
events,
series.
elite series.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Lower
standard
your
stroke
number,
play
Matt.
events.
Let me just give you a tip.
Hold on. I thought we were talking everything in that decade. How many events has he won? Just in general in his career. It's like,
I'm gonna guess like 125-ish or something like that. Maybe more, probably.
Is this in his? What are you guys guessing?
We're guessing between 2010 and 2020, right? Or 2019.
2019, yeah. That decade, elite series and majors only.
Okay, fine. I'm changing my number. I'm changing my number to 65.
Elite series and major. I'm gonna go with 40.
All right, 40 and 65. Are we way off,
40
Evan?
and 65. No, it's actually between you guys, but Nico has the edge. It was 49.
Oh, there you go. Give
Very
him the
nicely
point.
done.
Took the dub.
Took the dub. First time dub.
The next show.
Yeah, you get that stat goes down in the Nick and Matt show stat library. Nico just won. He's undefeated.
We'll get all the winners in Massachusetts at some point, and we'll have a big game show with all the winners.
Boy, that is going to be a lot of work. Yeah. But I want to go back to the stat of the decades because it is really cool. There was about 10 players who won in both the 2000s and 2010s. Then there's about 10 who won in both the 2010s and 2020s. But there's only one player who won in both, or sorry, in all 3. So that is a unico. That's a really cool stat. When I thought of it, I'm like, I have to include that in some way because that's so cool.
All right. That was a fun game. Thanks for participating, Nico. Undefeated in stat or fiction. Thank you, Stat Mando. What would you like to do to promote your efforts? You work hard. Is there anything else you want to tell people to do or check out before you go?
I'd say just, stay tuned. Check on NikkoLocastro.com. I have some items available on that, but I'd say just stay tuned for the future. And, I definitely want to give a shout out to every person that sent me like an encouraging message. I read everything that came my way, and I just want to let people know that those words had value to me, and it really kind of like even helped me get through some challenging times. It's just like that type of support from our community. it really helped me get where I'm at today. So
awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said,
Yep.
privilege. We're very glad you came on and you trusted us to do this interview. We're glad to have you back at some point in the future when things are happening again. Reach out if you want, or we'll reach out to you. Either way, thanks for coming on, man.
sounds good. Thank you guys for the invite.
Appreciate it, Nico.
All right, have
All
a
right.
good evening. Peace out.
Take it easy.
All right, everybody. Nikko Locastro. It happened. The interview was do with it what you will. I reacting to it and saying, I got to listen back. When I do the interview, sometimes I'm in it, and then I got to listen to it back to really get the like what was communicated, what was said. The chat was going pretty wild with it. Thought there was a lot of interesting things he said there. So we hope you appreciate that interview with Nikko. That being said, we just asked a fair amount of questions about a player known as 6-time world champion Paul McBeth, and we just happened to be able to get him lined up tonight after his first ever silver event at the new world champion. So he's the new world champion 2 times in a year. But let's bring him in. Let's bring him in. Paul McBeth. Welcome to the Nick and Matt Show, Paul. How are you doing?
Not too bad. How are you guys?
Good.
Look at that clean
Sounds good.
microphone, clean internet, all the good stuff.
It's Florida now.
Yeah.
And
not much, but
Hannah's podcast set up. So,
an incredible picture of Harrison behind you.
oh, that's right.
Yep.
That was a gift from Discraft, actually.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, congratulations on your latest win. Just how far away is the course now from about where you're at?
The New World course is like 45 minutes from where we're at. So Jacksonville's a pretty big city. So it's luckily I was on the south side, Jacksonville, so was able to just kind of hop on the highway and it was a straight shot there.
Nice. Very cool. What do you think of the course?
Yeah.
I was surprised. So I went out and practiced Tuesday out there because the tropical storm that was coming through. I was ideally just going to practice the day before Thursday. So the storm was due to hit Wednesday and Thursday. So I just jetted out there Tuesday morning. I was like, I'm going to play out here all day, get as much practice as I can. And it was so windy that when I got out there, I was very fortunate to find out that there was only one change from, I think, 2017 and 18 whenever we played there. So same course, almost exactly what I remember, and just one longer hole. So pretty I'm not saying the course is easy, but pretty easy to remember what to throw in those situations. So the one practice round was pretty good for me, and it's a fun course though. It's a golf course, but it's a pretty fun course.
Nice.
You're living there, you haven't been there long. It's a quote, I'm calling it an off-season event. I know it's a new wraparound series event and all that. Did it feel at all like a vacation style tournament to you? Like you're like, I'm in a new place, new tournament, off-season. How did it feel?
It's more just kind of going out and getting the competitive side, staying in kind of a rhythm, and I'm really using these couple tournaments as preparation for 2023. Just kind of trying to find a new routine that I can sustain on tour. So I'm kind of trying to treat these that way, where I'm just trying to train, practice differently, and then just kind of get something going that way to where I feel like I can carry that over to the tour season next year. Yeah, it's interesting just driving my car there and that morning, just going out there, driving there that morning. So that was a little interesting to have one in technically my hometown now. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm actually playing these tournaments for fun, not because they're on a schedule that I have to play. I think that's the biggest thing.
That's just sidestepping really quick. Seppo announced he's no longer competing and touring as a player. And it sounds to me like maybe he'll do some for fun tournaments. So that's cool. You're able to do that locally for you at this point. Yeah, I'm thinking out loud here. I mean, we know about you. We interviewed you for the World Championship. There's not a lot like people need to know about your competition per se, but like let's talk about maybe some other business things. If you still have any in the off season, I know sometimes you try to ramp things up or work on them hard there. You've got the Paul McBeth Foundation, but I'm curious. You had the Athena release, the proto or the pre. What is it called? The
test flight and
test
then
flight,
prototype.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to be released soon in the, I'll call it the normal version?
So I think I actually just found out about 30 minutes ago that Ledgestone's dropping them I'm gonna pull that up real quick so I know exactly when it is. Ledgestone tomorrow, 11:15 at 6 p.m. Central.
Okay. So
Oh,
they're
nice.
gonna be.
So yeah,
I'm gonna have
yeah,
to try
they
to
just posted
snag
on
some.
Instagram.
Any other discs in the pipeline? Like you got now what? The Zeus, you got the Onyx, the Athena. I'm gonna miss them, but what else is in the pipeline?
Luna,
Yeah,
Luna, Hades, and Malta. Don't have anything right now. There's obviously been. I've always talked, and we've just kind
Yeah.
of been like, all right, what's next? What's next? But nothing is like in the process of being a mold that's made right now. But
is there
yeah,
anything
the
missing?
Athena, I think there's always. I mean, people are always making discs, so there's always something they feel like they can improve on or figure out. So there's always things that can be tweaked and experimented with. But with the Athena, the first run, I think I have a couple of them. The biggest significant difference is that they're a lot straighter than the prototypes and test flights. These are how they were supposed to come out originally. So that's what I'm really looking forward to people trying. But I carry both, to be honest. I like the overstable one, if it's a little bit windier, and then these straighter ones for shot shaping all over the course. And I'm looking forward to breaking some in too, so I can hyzer flip and such.
I've never thrown one, and Nick, you owe me one. So next time you come up for Thanksgiving or Christmas, bring
I'll
one
be up
up
in a couple of weeks.
I want the straighter one.
It's literally so I got one when I was at Worlds and then going into GMC. I had first thrown it at GMC, and it's a 170, 172 test flight, and it was the perfect flip up to flat, like right off the rip. Every other Athena that I've thrown that I have has been significantly more stable than the one that I have. So if I
bring me
lose
that
the one that's in my bag rack, no, that's my favorite.
I was gonna say, bring it to me. I'll sell it, and I'll go buy a few more.
That disc is so beyond perfect in my bag right now.
We're cutting Paul
That's just
off.
been my favorite. Yeah. So
what else?
Well, I got a question.
Also, I got a
ahead.
question real quick. Matt, what's that sweatshirt you're wearing?
This, my friends, the chat's been going wild about it too. It's I don't wear it every day. It's called Prismatic Gear. You know the king of the 8 holes, Zach Benson, the guy who does the clapping at the 8 holes. Like he started a clothing line and he sent me some shirts. So here's one of them. Thanks for asking.
Nice
and loud.
Yeah, really. Wow.
People love it. All right, so Paul, you're in Florida now. You're officially moved down there. You left us all in the freezing cold Virginia. Pretty mean of you. But what's the offseason look like? Once tournaments are over, how does this offseason compare to different ones that you've had when you were in Virginia, compared to what you potentially are going to do for this year?
A lot more disc golf this winter, getting out and throwing, putting. Actually got a backyard, like a true backyard for the first time ever, actually. Which is pretty wild. Besides California, we just had a pool, not much of a yard. So this is the first time I actually have like a fence and grass. So looking forward to doing some putting practice, probably get a net thrown back there, and then the course not too far away. So a lot of that. In the gym a lot more right now because I think the last couple of years been battling with some stuff. So I don't feel like I've been on the physical side as much as I should be. So some days I'm doing 2 days. Some days I'm just in the gym like after this podcast. That's where I'll be going, and that's kind of the routine I want to figure out to be able to like play rounds, get to the gym, play tournament rounds, get to the gym, and just keep that in a solid cycle to where I'm not sore the next day because I'm keeping a routine going, but I'm also keeping that momentum rolling as the year goes on because it's so easy to just get focused on disc golf and just the play of it, the skill side of it, and not the physical ability. So I think the more I stay on top of that, the less I'll be dealing with injuries and such too. So that's really what I'm using these tournaments for too, is to make sure I stay in that routine. And 2 of the tournaments I have to stay for the weekend, so that'll be me figuring out how I'm gonna keep that routine going.
So in our interview at Worlds, I kept pushing and digging at a question like, come on, what would you tell your younger self, like if you could, to give yourself like an advantage today? And eventually you answered and said probably something to do with health, meaning like whether it's working out or eating or whatever it was. Sounds to me like you're trying to do that. Can you tell, like, are you using any form of coaching or physical trainer, or is this all on your own?
Right now, it's on my own because we're still so fresh here. I haven't been able
Right.
to explore all that, and I don't necessarily want to do that online and have like an online coach and all that. I want to be held responsible and have someone literally there in a certain time I need to be doing stuff at.
Mm.
So yeah, just need to figure out and get things sorted out here still before that. But it's looking like pretty much all December and January and pretty much early February I'll have a chance. So solid 2 months to get all that dialed into.
Has disc golf, like, in your opinion, came to a place where, because like when I started, maybe when you started, like, and you mentioned this in our World's interview, like there wasn't a lot of focus on like the physical aspects of it. I'm seeing a lot of the top players realized it seems to be, to get an edge, they need to do this. Do you think this is going to become like necessary for anyone on tour, let's say in the next 5 or 10 years? Like everybody's going to have to be peak athlete.
I definitely think it helps. I think it keeps your energy level and everything like that. And when you're carrying around less weight when you're on the course, it's not as hard to, go through the rounds and travel the way that you have to do and all that. So I think it does help, especially if you're on tour. If you're just, weekend warrior, I don't think it matters as much. And the length of the courses that we're playing now to get through them multiple times, um, pretty much every day, almost every day of the year. Practice days are harder than the tournament days. The tournament days are almost days off, but mentally they're a lot harder. But the practice days is I think the most grueling, and then let alone everyone treats the off season different too. So some people are in the gym playing more than they are during the season, and others take that time to just rest, heal, and other things. So yeah, so I think that's kind of where that athletic side is coming from, where the more athletes are coming into the sport, and you're seeing that more at the top. It's a different look now than it was previously.
You know where else you're seeing it? And Nick might be able to chime in, but Paul, I don't know how much you play at like an amateur like level tournament where you see a lot of the amateurs coming into the sport, but I'm still in that zone. And like I got out recently for what's called New England Team Challenge, and I'm still introduced to these newer players coming into the sport. And what I've recognized is they're advancing so much faster now coming into the sport, because I think, this is my take, the sport is attracting more athletes now. Like naturally gifted athletes at a younger age are like, watch, I can throw that disc a quarter mile. And I'm like, I've been trying for 15 years. I think athletes are being attracted to the sport. That's my take on it. And so they're coming in more that way now.
I agree, and I also think the YouTube era is here.
Yeah.
So they can watch it
True.
differently and learn from it that way. To where that was after I started, maybe about 10 years after I started, I'd say.
I talked to a kid at this team challenge, and the way he introduced like his skill level and when he started, he's like, I came into this sport, and he used you as a reference when Paul won his 5th world title. Like that's what he said. And I was like, well, I remember Paul McBeth walking up the fairway of hole 18 and not knowing who he was. Like it's just like different. Like he's so new, and I've been around for a while, so it's cool.
Yeah, I played with Ezra the final round at New World yesterday, and he's like, "Hey, I just want to say how much of an honor it is to play with you." He's like, I watched you all growing up. I had your poster on my wall."
That's awesome.
He's 20 years old, so it's like 10 years ago. Yeah, he was 10 years old, and I was winning my first Worlds.
That is awesome, dude. Like, I think it was an interview, and I always go back to different interviews because that's how I learn who you are in a lot of ways. One of the first ones in studio here, and I had asked you a question about like, I think it was something along the lines of like just winning or performing in front of people. Like if we could get it to be like golf was, back in the day with the groups, you were like, yeah, I love like maybe not being the showman, but I love competing and doing it in front of people. What does it feel like? It kind of feels like disc golf is getting there. How much farther do you think there is for it to go? I mean, are we going to see 10 and 15,000 people on a course one day? Like, what's your big picture?
You're saying 10, 15,000 watching?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, well, we do that obviously live disc golf, but I mean like in person, like, do you see the future of the sport? Like in your vision, is that what you see when you dream? Like it's going to be massive, or do you think we're kind of hitting some type of plateau?
I think the venues definitely have to step it up more so for that to happen. You have to be able to draw people there in the morning and have them stick around all day. So it has to have a lot more entertainment going on, food, drinks, and all that stuff for people to want to stay there all day and just kind of the numbers grow that way. Because if, in my opinion, I think it'd be hard to watch all day if you have to leave, go get food, or do other things. And that's just going from a golf experience, like going to a golf tournament before. Like there's so many other activities going on that you don't feel bad when you watch golf for an hour, then go do something else for an hour, then come back and watch golf, and you can, pinball around and watch your favorite players on certain holes that you really want to see and such. So I think it really depends on the venues. I think it's possible. I mean, we clearly have enough fans to go to all these events because it's not the same couple thousand that are showing up to every tournament. So if the venue is like that kind of venue, I can see people traveling and making one of these events have 10, 15,000 people at once.
I have one more. I know Nick's sitting there. I'm like, it's the Nick and Matt show. But here's the other. You get to talk to Paul more than I do, which is fine. I know he moved. Maybe you're missing out now, but I heard, and I think it was our interview with, I re-listened back to our interview with Jeff Spring. I think their plans is, and maybe you know more than me, Paul, their plan is to buy property and actually start having their own venue or venues. Have you heard anything about that?
I've heard they're definitely looking into it.
Makes sense.
And I don't know the details or anything like that. I know like their location, like where they want to go, but they're all obviously open-minded. And I think if there's one of those situations where someone built this kind of complex and offered Pro Tour a great deal to move there, they're still at that stage to where they're not locked in somewhere. So yeah,
I think we've talked about it for years. It just makes sense that all these places should do that. Like if you're a big tournament, you should buy your own property instead of venue. But this goes to the point of what you're saying. I think if we look forward that far, like maybe that's what the venues are, and maybe that's how we grow it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, you see how Maple Hill's doing, but you just need a couple spare $1 million to make it happen. So
disc golf is doing pretty good. Yeah. You don't have spare millions, I'm sure, but I think disc golf's doing better. It's a growing business, and it seems to be. Insiders may say differently. I don't have any real inside knowledge there, but I feel like it's healthy. They just announced hiring, all these different things. So who knows? So Nick, what am I missing? I mean, you invited Paul on tonight. We're glad to have him. What am I missing? I could ramble all night.
I don't know. It's funny because we talk normally throughout the week just about anything.
Can we involve Paul in this new game that we did last week with the double jerky game?
As long as he has time.
It's probably will take 5 minutes, Paul. Is that good?
Sure.
Okay, it's a game. I know you like games. So this game, let me just first of all shout out Double G Craft Jerky. Thank you very much for sponsoring this game. We are going to do this game. Paul, do you like spicy stuff? I know you have the little bit of spice in your jerky flavor.
No, I'm not a huge spicy fan.
Okay.
Yeah,
neither
but
is Nick.
I do know I know the barbecue's got a little kick to it at times.
It's awesome. It's awesome. It's my favorite by far. Mm-hmm. So Nick does not like spicy, and the goal of this game is we're keeping track of points. We started last week. We have a points list. The last place person gets last pick of what they get to eat, like for next week. So currently Evan is in the lead. I'm second. Oh, yeah. Ben is third. Nick is fourth. So we got to keep it that way tonight. We're adding our points together for tonight, cumulative, and then we will do some form of like playoff round or something later. But so you're just coming in as a guest for this game tonight. The way it's played is very simple. I do not know the answers yet. Nobody here knows the answers yet. Randomly picked Pro Tour players. And what our goal is to choose where we think they finished at the end of the year in the DGPT point standings. So we know where you were, we know where Ricky was, but we picked other random names and we just guess. It's just like golf. Well, not golf. You want to be as close as possible. If you are guessing 10 and they were really 15th, you get 5 points. You don't want points.
So you don't want
points. You nail it, you get 0 points. which somehow I did that last week twice. Let's give it another go. Everybody, Paul doesn't have to because we're not going to keep cumulative record here. Everybody, write down your answer. That's required here. No cheating allowed. We're going to start out with Chris Dickerson, everybody. Chris Dickerson, where did he finish Pro Tour standings? And I'm actually going to do this where we actually get the answer right away as opposed to waiting. I think it'll be more effective this way. So I'm not going to look, but I am going to have it up so we can see. So Chris Dickerson, I'm putting in my answer. Oh boy, this is a tough one for me. All right, I got my answer down. Everyone else good? Okay, Evan, what'd you put down?
I put down 5th.
Dang it! If Statmando's saying 5th, Ben, what'd you do?
I know.
7.
7. I put 8. Nick,
6th.
6. What do you think, Paul?
I was thinking like 11.
Okay,
I don't know if
I
he
was
had a
close
bye.
to that. I was close. I was going 12 at first, and I said, "Oh, that's too high." So let's see.
I don't think he was in the top 8.
Oh, you know why I can't
Oh,
look
no.
yet? Because then I'll see where the other people are
Yeah,
placed.
you'll see where other people
I can't
are.
do that.
Yeah.
Screw it. I wish we could, but we can't. Let's
Yeah.
go. Jeremy Colling.
Oh,
Don't answer out loud not until we're all got it down. Jeremy Colling. And play along, chat, because we're going to give you the opportunity here to chime in for our final round in a future week. Jeremy Colling, tough. Oh, boy, this is tough. This is tough. All right, I got mine down. Everybody else good?
Yep.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
going
man.
with 24. What do you think, Evan?
I had 32.
I went too high.
34th.
30. Oh, man, I gave him way too much credit, Ben.
I had Larry Legend 33.
33. Oh, no. Paul, what do you think?
I had 34 as well.
He's in the plan, Matt.
He was in the play-in.
He was in the play-in.
Matt's got some points on that one.
Hey, I'm in second. At least I'm not last.
Oh.
Paul, you'll
Hey,
just have to
can we
kind of
do-
remember your numbers because we'll do a review.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Anthony Barella. Anthony
Wow,
Barella.
this one's tough.
This one. It is.
Oh, this one is tough.
Like he could be 100th or 1st. I don't know.
Well, he's not first. I'll bet some money.
All
on
right. I
that.
got my number down.
I got mine.
Ben, Nick.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Ben, you're first.
okay, 27.
Nick,
I said 37.
I said 28. Evan.
I said 43. Was he in the
Oh,
tour
no.
championship?
I don't
or
think
did
I don't think he was in the tour championships.
I don't
no.
know.
23.
Oh, no.
Was he in it?
No.
Evan,
23.
I really hope you get lots of
Let-
points.
yes, Evan.
Paul, what do you think?
I'm pretty sure he was. I said 23. I'm pretty sure he was in it.
Please give
Oh,
Evan points.
I thought he wasn't in it. That's why
Dude,
I
I
went
don't-
high.
I just
I
don't
didn't
remember
expect him
him
to be
playing.
43.
Come on,
to be
baby.
clear.
I don't know yet.
I think
We're too excited, Ben.
Let's go.
We're too excited. Okay.
Yeah, I'm nervous right now.
Well,
Okay.
because Evan's gonna lose the round.
Joel,
I'm trying to like think of coverage in my head, and I can't think of any highlights.
5
or-
MPO players, by the way. So we have 2 more. Joel Freeman.
Okay.
Ooh, what did I do here? Oh man. Okay. Everyone good?
No.
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 Evan's doing some stat research.
Mm.
I'm not good yet. Gannon Burr.
Yangberg.
All right, I got it now. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
go
I'm
ahead,
good.
Evan.
I had 9.
9. Ben.
11.
Nick.
11.
7. Ooh, is that way too low? 7.
I was
Paul.
thinking 7.
Man, I have no clue. 19.
19.
Points for Paul. Maybe he's right on. Okay, and then Nate Sexton.
Ooh, that's hard.
Oh, that's actually wicked hard.
I got mine down.
I got mine down.
Nick.
Dude, I'm gonna get some points on this one. I think I'm trying to be gentle, but
You good, Ben?
Yeah.
What do you got, Nick?
39th.
39. Yes, Nick. I mean, Ben.
40.
Okay, you guys are in similar ballpark. I went with, this is probably way too low, 20.
Oh my goodness,
Matt.
he missed the tour championship. Let's go.
Okay.
All right, I had
Nick,
39.
we're coming
Dang
back.
it.
Oh,
He
all right.
missed
We're
it.
coming
Okay.
back. Nick, we're
Yeah,
Of
coming
course
I'm
he
with
missed
Nick.
it. Of course he missed
I'm
it.
go-
Dang it.
I'm going 50.
So
How
so
many
I knew
points
he
am I getting?
qualified for GMC and MVP, but I know he didn't play those because he didn't want to lose his caching streak.
And those are mandatory points.
Dang it. So
Yeah.
he was,
Those count.
Yeah, like they don't get dropped.
Okay,
He
that was
dropped out of the play-in from
major,
those, or maybe even
major
out of
brain
higher.
freeze on my part. But I didn't think he was playing that bad. Like I'm thinking of his season, and I'm like, okay, like 20th. But okay, that's true.
Well,
He didn't make it.
Maybe the AB mistake on my part doesn't hurt
The
me at
80.
all. Let's go.
Okay,
No,
we're
No,
doing
it
a review
hurts
of
you,
them.
it hurts you.
We're doing a
All
review.
right, so now FPO. Oh, we're
No.
doing. Yep.
We'll do this now. Chris Dickerson, everybody. I'm going to say how he placed.
All right, let me.
Wait a second. Okay. Wow.
Can you repeat the names? I'm putting my numbers
Dickerson, Coling,
in.
Barella,
Okay.
Freeman, Sexton.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
Got
here we go. Chris Dickerson, everybody. Drum roll. He
7.
placed 5th.
Oh,
it. Oh, he was in the final.
So put your number of points there. Like you obviously had your answer, but put your point number there. So I got 3 points for that one.
at 2.
1.
1. What'd you get?
Zero.
0.
I said
Evan
6.
knew it.
I knew it 100%. I was
Evan,
confident.
What did you say,
You're about
Paul?
to get 20 points.
I said 11.
Okay, 11. By the way, thank you again, Double G Craft Jerky, sponsoring this fantastic game. We're going to do a prize.
One
Yeah,
before the
we're going to
show.
do a prize. Again, it's going to involve jerky. I hope it's the hot boom sauce for Nick. We'll see. All right, Jeremy Coling is... How far do I got to scroll here? Sorry, Big Germ. Congratulations on
30s.
your wedding, by the way.
In the 30s.
Okay, you think I should make it down to the 30s?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was in the
he-
play.
Okay.
37.
32.
Look at that.
So I just got 8 points.
2 points.
2?
I'm at a combined 0.
What?
Before
Yeah,
the
I'm at-
Evan,
91.
you're about to get 20. Doesn't matter.
I'm about to get a bunch.
What'd
so-
you get, Ben?
2 there.
2? Paul?
No, 1 there.
I'm at
sorry.
8 overall.
Okay.
I'm at 3.
All right. I'm worst, apparently. I'm 11. Here we go. Anthony Barella.
Uh-oh.
What? I thought I just saw him, but I got to keep scrolling here. Maybe I got to do a little find option.
Oh boy.
Control F.
Okay, here we go. 21.
Okay.
That was my big one.
That one hurt,
Oh.
Evan?
I just don't
Yeah.
remember him playing it.
I was double wrong.
Oh,
How many
That one
points was
hurt.
that?
22
Two.
points. I don't know
I got
how
two.
I was that off.
What'd you get, Paul?
I got 2 points for that.
2,
how many did you get on that one,
Yeah.
Matt?
7.
I got 16.
Wow, I'm catching back up to where you guys were. That's good.
Who's in the lead? Is Paul in the lead now? Just
I'm
after
at
that?
10. I'm at 10 overall.
Yeah, then
I'm
he's...
at 9.
Oh,
19.
intern Ben, 1 ahead right now. Okay.
Oof.
Here
I'm
we
at
go.
22. All that.
So Joel Freeman is...
Come on, Joel.
7.
Let's go. 7.
He
Yeah,
is,
I
right?
guess 7. Yeah.
Was he at 7?
Yeah, I guess 7. How many
I
points?
thought it was 7th, but I was like shook from that AB mistake.
Did you say 7, Evan?
No, I said 9.
Okay, so you got 2 there.
I said
guess.
11.
Ooh.
I said
Okay,
11
not
as
bad.
well.
4. What'd
I'm
you
at
get, Paul?
13.
I got 12 on that one.
12 points.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said 19, I think. That was one I
Nice.
couldn't remember.
Well,
I think I
I'm
said
screwed
19.
with Nate Sexton. I'm already laughing. I just got to find
That
out.
was tough.
Where's Nate Sexton? Okay, let me just see here. A little find option. All right. It is, dang it, 40th. I got
Oh, let's go.
Ooh.
Let's
20
go, Nick.
points.
Wait,
20
did we both
points
get that,
there.
Nick? 40?
Dang.
Well, I mean, I said 39.
Oh, I
but
said 40.
I'll take a 1-pointer.
So I got a total of 38 points in that round. Ooh. What'd you get now?
Dude, that
man.
AB one screwed
I
me.
have a total of 25 points.
Okay.
22 of that came from AB. I
Yeah.
had 3 points from 4
Dude.
other players. That hurts.
What'd you get, Ben?
13.
13 total?
Yep.
You're moving up. What'd you get, Nick?
24.
Paul, did you
AB
total
one.
those ones?
Yeah, I got 32.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I lost that one. Because what was yours again, Evan? 30 what?
25 total.
Oh, dang. I really did bad. 38.
Oh, the FPO.
Okay, here we go.
Fuck.
FPO. Moving into the
It's gonna
final
be hard.
5 FPO players. I think it's going to be
This is
harder.
going to be hard.
Because we already
For
did 5
you.
players that we kind of maybe knew last week. Here's 5 more. Here we go.
Stop looking at your screen.
Yeah, stop. Here we go. Missy Gannon. Everyone write down a number for Missy Gannon. I'm having a brain freeze. All right. Everyone got a number down?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's go with Ben first.
5.
Nick.
4th.
I got 5. Evan.
I went 5.
Okay, Paul.
I almost went 5, but I went 3.
Okay.
Ooh. She was 4 through 6. That's guaranteed.
All right, here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Juliana Corver.
Oh,
Points. This is going to be tough.
jeez.
This is going to be tough.
I do have a question. Do you guys tell me how many were in the tournament? Do you
In
guys
the
know?
finals? Like
Yeah.
I
For
think it was
FPL?
12, right? With the play in.
Was it-
No.
16.
12 or
1 through
16?
16, but then 17 through 23.
Yes, played in.
Okay.
No, it was
Good.
15 through 20 did the play-in for 16 actually in the championship.
Okay.
Okay. That helps. Thanks.
Okay, I got a number down. We'll go with Ben again first. Intern, Ben.
Rest in peace, Kobe. 24.
Oh, all right. Nick. He's
Give me a
doing some
second.
math. No answer.
16.
16. Okay.
16.
I went with 19. Evan.
Oh no. Guys, I went 45.
Oh, no.
She played it, didn't she?
It's either lots
no,
of
she
points.
didn't.
Let's
I
see.
thought she did the play-in.
I think she
I
might have
had
did the play.
25.
Okay, Paul said 25.
No, she didn't.
Hold on, we got to move on. We'll get the points here in a minute. Don't be
Okay.
nervous. Here we
I could
go.
have
Hard.
sworn I remember her being
Emily Beach.
Ooh.
there. Bro.
Oh, this is tough. This is tough. I see the chat. They've been guessing all along right now. This is wow.
This is. Don't look at the chat.
No, I'm just seeing the things flying. I have no idea who they're saying it for. There's like 8 million
Yeah,
numbers
true.
on there. Okay. Emily Beach, I put a number down. Nick, you're first.
29th.
I said 21. Evan.
Give me the points 14. Or actually give me the lack of points.
You
excuse
feel
me.
like that's so good. He's confident. He says 14.
Give me the points. 15.
I don't remember her playing in the
Ben said 15.
championship.
Paul, what do you think?
I said 14.
Oh,
Oh,
dang it,
let's
Nick.
go.
You and I are the outliers. Either we're getting
Yeah,
good or...
I just don't remember her playing it, but I know she got like
I don't
second place
think
at
she- I-
D-Glow.
She did. I think I did see her there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Own Scoggins.
Thank you for the lob.
Man. Why is that a lob?
Dude,
Yeah,
Ben's sneaky good at this. I'm impressed, Ben. Let's go.
All right. I got a number. Evan, you're up.
We all get Nick, you good?
Yeah, everyone
No,
good?
give me 2 seconds. I'm debating between 2 numbers right
Yeah,
now, but
he wants to
I'm gonna go,
nail it.
all right, I'm probably going to get 1 point.
Evan
for it.
knows this 100%.
Go ahead.
Perfect.
All right, I went 4.
Okay, Ben,
3.
Nick,
4th.
That's incorrect.
I went 4. Paul.
4. I went 4 as well.
All right. Ben's the only one who said
All right,
something
I guess I
different.
got 1 point.
Here we go. Last one. Henna Blumroos.
Hello.
Thanks for the lob. No, just kidding.
I got a number. All right. I just realized the podcast. They were just driving along in their car and it just went silent for like 10 seconds.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
just like
We're
sitting
We're
in
all
the
just
car.
writing stuff
We're all
down.
just
For the record,
thinking.
I scribbled out my first answer. But
If that was you driving the car, you get that moment of
not in
peace
yet.
brought to you by Double G Craft Jerky. Okay, here we go. We'll let Paul get the last one in here first. What do you think, Paul?
I said 6.
Evan.
15th.
Whoa, Ben.
Ooh, we got a nice range.
9. Nick.
12.
And I said 7. We're all over the board.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was the number 1 seed in the play, and I'm feeling it.
Oh, now you just reminded me. That might be accurate. I think that it could be accurate. All right. Here we go. We're starting with Missy Gannon. Missy Gannon was 6th. So
Okay.
I got
Oh,
1
dude,
point.
I said fourth
Val
for Missy.
was 5th.
I said-
what am I thinking?
I said 4th for Missy and Own. Because
Let's
I
go.
thought I said 5th for Missy.
He guesses
God.
someone the same.
All right. So
All
what was
right.
she again?
She was
She was
6th.
sixth.
So whatever that is. I got 1
Six.
point.
Dang it.
Any big points there? No.
I should have known Valerie was 5th. Oh my goodness.
What'd you say?
I got 3.
I said Gannon was 5th.
Oh, Paul got 3. Okay.
Mhm.
Juliana Corver.
Come on. Big money, big money.
on. Come on.
No whammy.
Well, like,
No whammy.
I feel like
I'm
this,
kinda rooting I'm
this and
wrong.
Emily are about to screw
Oh,
it
I
up.
don't wanna be wrong.
26. Let's go. Ugh. So, all All right, I got 7
So
points.
she was in the tour championship. Why did I think she wasn't? What am I doing?
Wait, I thought that was
No, that's
outside of
not.
the tour
26 is
championship.
just outside.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm dumb either way. But either way, I was way
Either
wrong.
way.
I was
Yeah.
way wrong.
She might have been there though, because I think a lot of the FPO didn't show up for the play-in.
It's possible. I thought I remembered it, but
Oh.
maybe not. Come on, Statman.
Well,
though. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
I'm
Here's
just
the one
messing.
I'm really curious
I
about.
got 7 points there. Okay, Emily Beach.
14.
Oh, how did you know that? You just whispered the answer into my ear. 14.
Wow.
I was very confident on that. She won Rookie of the Year, so I had it in my mind.
Statmando has
That's
an
what I thought as
advantage.
well.
That's why we got to bring it to the course, Nick.
Yes, because where he has a
That's
disadvantage.
that is
Let's
a smack
go.
talk.
Where I
That is smack
beat Matt
talk.
at Maple Hill and I
Nope.
beat Ben everywhere but Meadowbrook.
No, that's a lie.
I just beat you at
everywhere
Meadowbrook
ever.
by like 10 or 15. so-
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost to you all day.
Okay, here we go.
I've smoked
I got
like
7
20
for Emily
strokes
Beach.
in my sleep. Come on. Now.
Okay, enough smack talk.
I got 15 for that one.
Oh, wow. Oh, ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Moving down. Own Scoggins. Everyone feels decent about this one. 4th.
Okay.
All right. There's my 0-pointer.
I got 0 here. Ben's the only one. I think he
I
got
got
3
1.
or 1. Yeah.
He lobbed it for 1.
Popped it for 1.
Okay, and then finally, Henna. Oh, dude, when you said she made the play in, then I'm like, dang it. It's true. She got 15th.
Let's go.
Not so good here either.
Guys, if I only didn't have the blow up person, I got 1 point from 4 of the FPO players. That kills me.
I still beat you.
Ooh, not so good here, guys. Total up your scores. And then I'll give you your scores from last week. Okay, I have a total of let's go, 99 total. That's 20 people I've guessed. I was 99 off over 20 people. Nick, what'd you get for tonight?
54.
Okay, so 54 plus
I
60.
think I was
114.
Matt, what'd you get? How many are you saying for your 2 combined?
last
No,
week's
we did
episode,
last
too.
week's
We
as
did
well.
last week.
So we're accumulating.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, there's
That's
no
what
way I
thought.
got
Okay.
99.
Well, what'd you get just this week, Matt?
Oh, just
So I can
this
feel
week.
good.
I got 38 plus 23. It was
Okay,
61.
It's a very big number.
61.
Okay, awesome.
I got the worst tonight, I think. Did anybody beat 61 tonight? Oh, Nick, you did.
I got 54.
Nope. Okay, so 54 for Nick, which puts you at 114 total. You got closer to me now. What'd you get, Ben?
Kobe, 24.
Total?
Yeah.
Dang. Good job,
I don't
Ben.
know how.
Ben literally studied this whole week.
He knew it was coming. He just
He
memorized
I
it.
didn't. It
He
was
studied.
intuition. I study the game, baby.
Okay, and then Evan.
45.
Ooh, bad week for Evan.
Dude, again, I had
Oh, what'd you get
I
total?
kid you not, 4 points from 8 players.
I got 45 as well.
Wow. Okay. So here's the result standings for both weeks together. Evan is holding it down by
No.
4 over Ben.
Let's go.
By
Let's go.
4. And then I'm third, 99 points, and Nick is 114. So if we bring it to the course,
Easy.
Nick has to like shred to be able to make up the strokes.
Wait,
Yeah,
what's,
how do we do that points
I
wise
have
into
no
strokes?
what's my gap?
I
Like,
think
is
we'll
every
probably.
stroke
I think what
5
we should
points?
do is a point or a stroke would be worth like 2 points or something. So if you beat us by 8, you get 16 points or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
How do we get a
Or
stroke
Paul,
I gotta
lead?
can you
Evan
just
by
jet
40
your way up
strokes.
here and join in on the fun? We'll just see whatever Paul beats people by. That's the bonus multiplier or something like that. All right, cool. So that was the game. Thank you, Double G Craft Jerky. We are going to finish this game out and
Who had the lowest FPO score?
I had
Ooh, good.
11.
Probably Ben.
I
I
had 24.
I had 23.
had 20.
I had
Ben,
13.
man,
Yeah.
what did Ben do this week?
You just
He
lobbed a
studied
few
it.
up
I'm
there.
telling you, dude.
You just lobbed a few, like Missy Gannon owned pretty easy, and then the rest.
Like I thought about.
You got those wrong though.
I got by 1 point. Like it's not a big
Still
deal.
got
Yeah, that's the
wrong.
way to cheat without
Yeah.
knowing you're cheating. You know what I mean? Like you
can't
get
purposely
it
get
just
your
right.
point. Yeah.
So I'm gonna lose sleep over that JK one. Like
Apparently,
So
I
if-
just don't know Emily Beach.
All right. So if people are playing this game at home
Yes.
and they didn't see last week's episodes, who were the 5 names that you guys said so they can guess and then look it up?
Okay, let me do it.
Do you remember?
Oh, it's a good call. They
I
could go
haven't- I
back.
haven't-
I have them here.
I have it written down. Do you have it, Matt?
Yes. Okay. The 5. Yeah, that's a good point. They were playing it last week, but yeah, if you didn't, here they are: Adam Hammis, Aaron Gossage, James Conrad, Isaac Robinson, and Drew Gibson. Those are your 5 MPO.
Those would have been harder than this week's, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Those are
This
tough.
week is a lot.
And I
easier.
came out last week with 38 points total over FPO. I nailed it somehow. That's my only saving
Well,
grace.
you nailed it for second place.
Yes. Yeah,
And
I
then what
did.
was FPO?
FPO, this is hard too, but Stacy Ronsley, Kat Murch, Haley King,
Stacy was hard.
yeah, Alexis Mandahano, Ella Hansen. So
Okay. Yeah.
when
Yeah.
yeah, so to play those, you can go look those up yourselves. Your total cumulative score without cheating. Someone comes in, they're
And
like
then
22.
and then they can join next week and be back on point.
Exactly.
Good call, Paul.
Catching it
Okay,
live.
we're gonna bring him in as the fifth host from here on out. He's making us better. So right now the winner stands at 72 points right now. So if you make it to this point and you're better than that, you should give yourself a round of applause.
And if you want to beat Nick Carl, just be sub 100.
Sub 114.
Dude, I'm getting smacked.
He's
right
the
now this
only
game.
one
Last
in the
week-
hundreds.
Last week was tough, dude. Last week I was way off. This week I had a couple like 1 or 2
Ugh.
pointers. Last week was like 10, 10, 10, 10. So it was a rough one.
All right. This was awesome. Paul, we don't want to take up any more of your time. I'm just imagining like you're in the off season, you just won an event, you're still not quite feeling. Is it feeling off season anymore with this wraparound? Like, what's the difference in your mentality? Like,
It's definitely off
Okay.
season in the sense of, yeah, I'm not thinking about hopping on a plane going
Okay.
to another tournament. Like I can play in a tournament next week, but I'm at home right now.
Yeah.
Like this would never happen.
Mhm.
So
are you near the? I don't know the geography of Florida that well. You said you're 45 minutes from
Northeastern.
Jacksonville. Is that like?
45 minutes from the other side of Jacksonville where the course is.
Are you near
He
a
said he's
beach?
south,
I think
right?
I've seen
Well,
social
yeah.
media. Like I've seen you at the beach,
Yeah.
but like, are you near the
South
beach?
Yeah, we're at the beach. Yeah,
We're at the beach.
we're a mile and a half.
Are you going to be the first touring pro with a private jet?
This is the intern Ben.
I doubt it. I don't. I feel like it's way. I feel like it's way too easy to just have an RV and have all your stuff there instead of.
Ben, do you know how much it costs
Having
to
to
put
go to the
Wi-Fi
airport and
on a
all that
private
stuff.
jet?
To put Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
I think you can
No.
survive 6 hours without Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Well, Jill, let's just talk. To put Wi-Fi on it is over like 100 G's, and then you have to like re-up it multiple
How?
times per year.
How do you know that, Nick?
Yeah.
They're just
'Cause
getting
I've,
money
like-
out of these.
Because I think Grant Cardone
Million
was
to
talking about
billionaires.
it actually, and I was
Okay.
listening to Grant
Yeah, he's
Cardone
like
for a little while about.
multi-
Do you know
and
how
'cause
much it costs to like charter a private jet? Because like most people,
Not as yeah,
It's
not
it's
as much as you
actually-
think.
No, it's not
Well,
as much as you think.
the thing is though,
Yeah.
like you're not owning the jet. Like it's like you have it on reserve. Like it's a company that flies it for you. But like, yeah, it's fairly expensive. Like when you say not as much
Expensive,
as
but
you
it's
think,
not
what
as
number are
much.
you
It's
It's
thinking?
like $2 million to buy one.
It's like 10. I would guess 10 to 15 grand.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like cross country flights.
I mean, it depends on where you're going.
Yeah.
That'd be my guess. And then that's not just one person. That's multiple tickets.
Please,
and stuff.
Paul, Nick and Matt show. We want a private jet to go somewhere, and we'll just like it just
Well,
be
I
awesome.
I've heard like crazy things like Pro Tours thinking about chartering like during COVID they were thinking about chartering a flight to Europe so we could all play the
Wow.
European Open and stuff and be in
Ooh.
or Norway and stuff like that. But that was during COVID,
Mm.
and then I haven't heard any talks about doing stuff like that, but maybe other countries and such.
All right. Well, as you can tell, we're off talking about private jets and Wi-Fi and all that stuff. But thank you for that conversation starter, intern Ben.
You're
the man.
welcome.
All right.
Private jet, that's the new goal. Or owning the jets. There you go.
Ew, that sounds awful.
That's a little bit more.
The Patriots are going to own the Jets this week, I hope. All right.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Who knows?
Well, we've made it to that
Well-
point in the show, I think, where we're probably going to let Paul go because we're just wasting his time. He's making more money, like just sitting here listening to us than we are just at life.
It's true. Someone probably just bought a Athena and it went straight to his account. $6. Ping, ping, ping.
Just hear the chimes.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Ben's bringing the gold tonight. This is funny stuff. I love it.
Hey, it's the Benergy.
Let's
It is the
go.
Yeah, I think you just need a cool background. That's about it.
Yeah. He did the
What-
goat
what is
when
that?
you were on. This is what is it? Go full screen.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you saying I need a
Whoa,
cool background?
whoa,
Or are you
that
saying
is-
this one's not cool?
Oh, like that. That's where all the ideas are coming from.
Oh, whoa,
Oh.
someone's running down a
Yeah.
hallway.
Yeah.
I just found it.
Okay,
I
cool.
love it.
That's crazy. All right, we're gonna let him go. Paul, did we miss anything? Did you come on? You're like, dang it, I need a platform. I need to shout something out. Or are you good?
Nope. Just
Okay.
Nick requested, and
Yes,
I
he
was
did.
like, all right, I'll
Yes,
finally hop on.
No, we appreciate
Hey,
it.
throw me under the bus like that.
No, it was Nick's fault. I said we have a guest, Nikko, and he goes, "No, we need Paul. I miss him badly."
We're
Yeah.
we are
I
worried
will
about
say-
Nikko not coming on.
It's true.
Oh no. I was just I turned this on and Nikko was there and I was like, what the what's going on here?
Who did I call? What link
Well,
did he
was-
send?
Yeah.
it was funny because he was talking about how many times in life that you've just overshadowed tournaments of his.
Yeah,
Where like
he
when
was-
he shot 18 down a toboggan, he shot like
Yeah.
9 down, which was
That's
a
what
great
this
round.
that's what this title is, right? Paul McBeth and then guest appearance Nikko.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
That's
overshadowing
the show,
Nikko Locastro.
show notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would have been funny if we like brought you in and we're like, all right, peace out, Nikko. We got Paul coming on. And once again, he's overshadowing me, but
That would have
he was in a good mood. So
Yeah, that was a good
But-
time.
It was a good interview.
All right, Paul. Thank you very
anyways,
much.
yes.
Enjoy
Thank
the
you.
new house. I'm hoping it feels a little like vacation. I know you have to unpack and get all that, but like settle in. If I was there, I'd bring you, or my wife would bring you cookies and say welcome to the town or neighborhood. But you're
Oh,
not.
thank
We're not.
you.
So you won't get the cookies.
The-
but welcome to the
beach is
neighborhood.
fine.
Well, I will say we got a lot of alcohol delivered when
Really?
we first moved here. That was all their welcoming gifts. Yeah.
Wow. Are you in
So,
like
yeah, it was a surprise.
like don't give us your address, people zooming in on Google, but like are you in like a residential area where it's like a community residential area where like people are like, oh, someone just moved in, they all know it?
They did know, like
Okay.
I think 2 houses sold on this neighborhood around the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, and everyone was like, "Welcome to the neighborhood," and
Cool.
yeah, I guess bourbon and I don't know alcohol, so but yeah, a lot of whiskeys and stuff.
Feel free to bring it
But-
up for Thanksgiving.
It's already up there. Mel took it.
Oh,
But,
did you?
Yeah, there were some cool bottles that I kept just for fun and for guests. So
Cool. All right, again, we're getting
But,
off on a
all right,
tangent.
thank you.
We're gonna let you go. Peace out,
Thank you,
Paul.
Paul.
all right, see you guys.
Peace.
Paul McBeth, everybody. Not to be
Ladies and
overshadowed
gentlemen,
by
Paul
Nikko Locastro or vice versa. 2 separate deals. Wow.
Congrats on finally winning a silver event, Paul.
Wait,
That's how I started it out.
It's so
Discraft?
funny when like
Discraft
Huh?
should make a stamp that says one-time Silver Series winner.
one-time silver series.
Let's go.
That'd actually be hilarious.
I've seen a local shout out to David Hoey, one time AM1 like pyramids winner or something. Marshall Street AM1
Oh,
winner.
did he
I've
have like
seen that.
bosses and stuff like that? Yeah,
That's so
I remember
funny.
those. He had
So
like the
funny.
Hoey bosses.
Yeah, the one time AM1. Oh
Yeah.
no, it was like runner up AM1 or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Oh, that's even better.
Yes.
It was hilarious.
Zero-time
Yeah.
world champ. I've seen a couple of those.
I was trying to get B pool world champ from last year. I was trying to do a fun
B-pool
run
world
with that,
champ.
and I actually could have done it this year, but it's not as cool now because I obviously got smoked at Worlds. So last year was cool, but
Okay. So we did the
Anyhow.
game. By the way, people last week were saying they had fun playing along with that game. I hope you enjoyed it. It was, I think we'll bring it back next year. We're not going to do this throughout the year. Like, where are they now? Like, we're not going to do that. Every
I
week.
think we got to do outside the top 50. Like, let's get some points flowing.
That would be a
flow.
point spreader.
Maybe
yeah.
Like,
30
where did
up,
Jackie
30 up.
Chen, who played Vegas, where did he
Nicholas
finish on the
Carr.
year?
Recently-
189.
He played recently
oh,
in the
dude,
USA,
I'm at like
Jackie.
115th or 145th or something like that.
So I do want to say that was fun from Double G Craft Jerky. Go try their jerkies out. We are going to, like I said, find a way to wrap this up, and we will be using their product as part of the reward and as part of the pain. We'll see what happens, but we're going to make a fun thing of it. Real quick, I say real quick, we're pretty close to the end of the show here, but I do want to hit on a few things, then we can open it up for disc era discussion. The Disc Golf Pro Tour announced today, right after Seth Finley announced that he's coming on as like the USA, I don't want to say liaison, but like manager of Latitude 64. He's the main guy for Latitude 64 in the USA now. That's the first person they've ever hired in the USA to work the USA. This is a pretty cool move for Latitude 64. I don't know exactly what it will look like, but just the visionary part of me says Latitude is going to become a bigger deal in the US. It's great plastic. People love it. Europe, it's crazy. Now it's going to grow. That's cool. And Seth Finley, the reason I bring that up is he was the VP of administration and finance, I believe is what it was, for the Disc Golf Pro Tour. And he, I say like he was part of the inaugural. It's not quite true, but he was there from the beginning with Steve Dodge, and actually was the first hired on like person to be on payroll, if you will, for the Pro Tour. Stuck it out through the transition to Steve Dodge to, you know, the new ownership, and then Jeff Spring as CEO, came into a much more substantial role all the way up until now. And now he's not there. Jeff Spring writes in a note in the official release from the Pro Tour that personally he's saddened, if you will, like as in like it means a lot to have worked with him. He's happy for obviously a bittersweet way for Seth Finley, but congratulations to him. The Pro Tour then follows up to say we've hired and we have 40 full-time employees, not including contractors and, you know, other freelancers, but they are now assigning, I think it was, how do you say the VP assistant to the CEO guy? Is it Delone? Is that how you say it? Or
Phil Delone?
Oh, Phil.
Yeah, Phil.
Yeah.
He is taking on that role in an official capacity, is my understanding. So they're doing some shifting internally, which I do like. Zach Kuykendall, I think. If you don't know all these people, don't worry about it. But he was Kuykendall. I think it's Kuykendall.
I don't know.
It's spelled pretty crazy. But Zach was their social media like manager. He has now moved up to like marketing director. And they've moved 2 new roles up into like social media strategy and social media, you know, like manager. So they're making moves is my point. And they're looking for a financial director, maybe controller is how they put it. But they're replacing people. They're saying, get your interviews in, like put out your resumes. If you want to work there, they're hiring. They're always hiring. If you have general interest to work there, let them know what you can do. That's cool. Seppo's no longer competing. I alluded to that earlier on. That's something you can go check out, his YouTube channel, by the way. Hint, go turn on the closed captions. It's in English. The 8 or 10 minute video, you could actually understand what's being said. Good luck to him. He's going to stay in disc golf, but not compete. He's done. He's done that is how it kind of seems. He's settling down, trying to have a life with disc golf, but not competing. And then congrats to Big German and Jules, his wife. They were in studio here during MVP Open. Got to meet them a little bit. Their wedding happened approximately, 3 days ago? Another disc golf wedding. Simon had his earlier. Who's up next? Did Ulibarri get engaged to Sarah Wysocki?
Yep.
So maybe that's up next for disc golf weddings.
It could be.
And then...
Oh, no. Konopanis and Colton.
Oh, that's the next.
Days. Yeah, they're in like
that's
10
like
days.
immediately. Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And then I'm just rambling through these so we can get to the Discura discussion, which is... not this one, but we're almost there. The tour pass or the player tour card has been updated. They have increased the numbers for players that are able to get these passes, which is like an automatic registration to these events. And they've increased it up to 80 for MPO, 40 for FPO. It's like 5 more they added to FPO and like 15, I think, to MPO. The point is they get you registered in. If you were the top 80 last year, you're in. And you can withdraw from events, obviously, but you're in. And I think it's becoming more exclusive, which... in the end, I like it. Silver events are where you're going to want to make your case, if you will, to become one of those better players. Mm-hmm. And I think that's as it should be. There's a lot of discussion there. That's not what we're doing right now. Maybe we'll talk about that in another off-season podcast. Let's get to it. Disc Golf Pro Tour Player Awards. This is the Discura discussion. Nick brought this up. Evan's got cool insight to stats relating to the percentages given through the votes. He can't tell us like, hey, Matt, you voted for XYZ. He can't tell me. That's not, that's confidential, if you will. But he can say, hey, media votes were X amount of percent for that. I think that's interesting. Nick, do you want to start us off? Like, let's talk through like each of these awards and maybe just a general reaction. Let's probably take, 5 or 10 minutes here.
Well, I think, what was it? Ricky and Kristen Tatar getting Player of the Year. Is it the Ken Climo and the Elaine King? Or Ken Climo?
You got it.
Okay, so it is Elaine King. I couldn't remember. Kind of funny, Elaine King. Kristen winning the Elaine King one when you had the whole Champions Cup controversy.
Oh, Nick's going there.
I'm just putting that together now. It's actually kind of ironic. But 2 incredible players that played very, very consistent all year. Ricky, obviously, getting, 4 Elite Series wins with the Pro Tour and then winning the Pro Tour championships.
Yeah. So that was 5 total. Yep.
Just an absolutely incredible year. And then we've just seen dominance throughout the whole year from Kristen Tatar. I think there's no argument on either side on player of the year.
Yeah, I agree there. I mean, the Tatar one was absolutely no discussion. She was the unanimous player of the year. Media voters, 100% of media voters picked her as the number one. You could vote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you picked 5 total and you ranked them. Every single media voter picked Kristen Tatar number one. No question. She also led in disc golf pro tour points and average finish at majors and tour championship, which were the other criteria factored into choosing this. So it was a complete sweep from every way you could look at it. Like, interesting enough, like Paige Pierce, I mean, she didn't receive any first place votes, but she did have 69% of the second place votes, and 94% of total votes. A few people did leave her off, about 6%. But she had the second most total amount of votes. Then is Katrina Allen, who only received 14% of second place, but received numerous percentages through the rest of it. 46% third. I was looking at Scoggins, who also had 14% second place votes, but was kind of sprinkled in across third, fourth, and fifth. And like Val Mandujano, Missy Gannon received some votes too, but weren't quite at the top. In MPO, Ricky was definitely the consensus, but it was not unanimous like it was Tatar. He had 83% of the first place votes. Paul McBeth had the next most number of votes with 11% first place votes, but majority was second place votes, with him getting 63%. That was the most of anyone. Both Ricky and Paul did get 100% of total votes, whether it was 1 through 5. They're the only players to do that. Simon, Gannon, and Calvin were all close, but some people left them off. They didn't receive a lot of first place votes, and Simon was kind of across the board. He received 23% second place votes and 37% third place votes. I think, he was the third most picked as far as media voting goes, but he unfortunately did a little bit worse in disc golf pro tour points and average finish, so didn't quite finish. It's not really like a second place award anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, those are pretty straightforward, but I think most improved was maybe the one that had the most discussion around it. So
this got Evan heated on Twitter votes. If you want to see the real side of Evan that we don't get to see on Monday nights, go onto Twitter and follow. I think it's Evan K DG, right? Or is Evan
K Disc.
Evan K Disc.
Ben was just ripping on me for that name. It is the
best account to follow. One, because he tweets out awesome stats with Statmando and retweets everyone from Statmando as well. So you get to see all these cool things. But dude, when discussion gets heated on Twitter, be ready for Evan Kearns to drop in and just hit people with some knowledge.
I love it.
Tons of people.
I appreciate it.
So, well, ultimately, this is talking about the not rookie of the year. It's most improved. Excuse me, most improved player of the year. And so many people were saying Simon Lizotte was the most improved player, and they're all giving their arguments on why they personally feel like that. And then Gannon Buhr ultimately wins most improved player of the year. And when Evan, because you thought this is correct, right, Evan? Like,
it's
Gannon Buhr,
it was
is that
not
your
who
pick?
I voted for, but between for Simon Lizotte and Gannon Buhr, I thought it's clear as day Gannon Buhr, and I think Gannon Buhr was totally deserving, even if he wasn't my number one pick.
Who'd you vote for?
I voted for Jason Hebenheimer, actually.
Oh, okay.
Not a lot of total votes, and I knew that going into it, but it felt
just like
it hurt. No, it hurt because I knew it wouldn't mean anything, because I knew he wouldn't get enough votes.
Yeah.
But I truly did think he was by far the most improved. I didn't even know who he was earlier this year. And then he turned into having a play-in appearance at the Tour Championship. I wouldn't have picked someone who improved a lot, who went from 80th to 50th, because that doesn't mean anything. But he worked his way up to a play-in appearance. I could go through his stats. I'm trying to look for it real quick, but I'm not going to waste time stalling to try to get to it.
That's all right.
But he just led in so many categories, and not just led, but by so much. His under par percentage was like triple what anyone else's change was from 2021. He got better in almost every part of his game. He's incredibly good, and he's just not super well known. But I thought he was truly the most improved. But to get into the Simon, I'm not going to go into it long, but I want to get some points across between Simon and Gannon. I think this is a most improved award. It's not only most improved from last year, but it is kind of a career award as well. Simon has been a top player for so long in the sport. He might not have been, winning every event. He only had 2 Elite Series wins before this year and hasn't won a major, but he's been a top player for so long. And it's something like he was top 15 in the Statmando official rankings for, top 15. He went 356 straight weeks, not days, weeks, 356 straight weeks of being in the top 15 before he had the injury in 2020 and dropped out. That's insane. His average round rating this year was his 5th best of his career. And I'm trying to find the number. I'm not coming up quick enough, but it was his 5th best of his career. In 2017, I think it was, he had 9 podium finishes. That's more than he had this year. He wasn't getting the wins.
That's where I'm at. I don't do it as player. I don't do it as eloquently as you.
5 years ago.
I don't do it as eloquently as you, but my first thought was, I'm like, are we just saying because of the previous year? Like he's most improved over the that's why I was like, no, you can't give it to him. And I was doing the media vote, and I'll tell you, my vote was not for Simon. And people are like, well, how is that? Well, that's just what Evan's saying is so nice. Thank you.
Yeah, and I mean, just to quickly, the differences between them from 2021 to 2022 for majors and DGPT Elite, he was, actually, that's all Elite Series, so it includes National Tours in 2021, yes. Burr increased his average round rating by over 11 points. Simon went up 0.71 average rating points. Burr's under par percentage went up, so better, by 4.12%. Simon Lizot's actually got worse. He was getting less birdies or better on average. And then average place,
more pars.
Maybe average place, Burr went down 12.72 spots. He had the best average place on tour, where Simon's actually got worse. He went up 3.44. And he said it himself. It's nothing new that it was kind of a boomer bust season. He got way more wins, but then he also was out of it more often. It was an absolutely incredible season, but I think what this award comes down to is it's a really open-ended award, and that's okay. Most improved means a lot of different things to different people. It kind of is the threshold of how good they are. Is it someone who's really good, who's now one of the best in the world, like Gannon Burr? Is it someone who was unheard of to then being like a tour championship level player like Hebenheimer? Or Simon, who just had a really incredible jump from one year to the next, and someone who was having a bad season before or had an injury. And I think that last one kind of comes to a little bit more of a comeback player of the year, which is what the NFL has. And it's kind of like someone who gets injured and then has a really great season the next year. Like Joe Burrow won it last year in the NFL, from tearing his ACL to then getting to the Super Bowl. That's a comeback player of the year. That's kind of what Simon went through, in my opinion, where most improved's a little bit different. But I'm going to hop over to FPO just real quick to talk about that as well. Valerie Mandujano takes down that award. That's another one where I didn't specifically vote for Valerie Mandujano, excuse me. I don't know who you voted for, Matt, but I think she was totally deserving.
Yeah, I was sorry. I was texting Nico. Sorry.
You guys are best friends.
I'm distracted.
Look at that. Yeah. I voted for Holland Hanley, who I thought kind of in the same.
That's a great one.
Jason Hebenheimer went from someone who was not super well known to just transcend to be a very, very good player. She finished even higher in the Pro Tour points. She got a bid actually to the Tour Championship. That's not a dig. It sounded like a dig to Hebenheimer making the play in. But she also got a podium at Worlds, which is incredible. Her coming from outside disc golf just a few years ago to being where she is at now. A few other players who I thought were totally deserving as well were like Ella Hansen, Kat Mersch. Those were popped out the most to me. Val Mandujano is also up there. Not my first vote, but totally deserving. She got 47% of the media votes. The interesting thing, though, which I want to talk about, is she got 20% of the fan votes, which was second out of everyone. Kristen Tatar got 32% of the fan votes. And to me, that seems even crazier than Simon. She was like almost the consensus best player last year in FPO, but just didn't play the whole tour.
It's
like she won a major in 2019, like 3 years ago.
There needs to be a show prior to that talks about what each of these awards like could mean to people, because people come into it with a preconceived idea, like what it means to them. And then when the Pro Tour announces it, if you want to make Evan mad, just go read the comments, because people are like, this is absurd, throw it away, it doesn't even make sense. And it's like, okay, you don't like, all right, I'm going to stop.
Well, I'll say this is I'm not mad at anyone. I have my own opinion and I'm passionate about it. But what's really cool is you have so many fans who have come on to new disc golf fandom, especially in the last couple of years, who didn't know about Kristen Tatar, who didn't even know Kristen Tatar before this year, maybe because they're a brand new fan, and she's become their favorite player. And now they're watching the women play every week, and they're excited about it and seeing all this progression. And she had a fantastic year for being their favorite player, and they're like so super thrilled with that. And that's awesome. And they like latched onto it. And so that's so cool. And like it goes further than any award voting. And that's just great to see. So taking it apart, it's not something I'm ever going to be mad at. Like, I don't think anyone can be mad at how it goes down, but at the same time, we'll be passionate about on what I think is maybe the right pick.
And
I think Owen would have been a great pick.
Is it okay?
As well.
Is it okay to, I don't want to say disclose, because I don't think it's confidential. And well, if it is, then I lose my vote next year. But I think
you're welcome to say who you voted for.
Yeah, I can say that. But I mean, like, the way that they presented it to us as media was like, this is up to you to interpret. Like, who do you think, like, what does it mean to you to be the most improved? Because I saw someone in the chat saying, like, maybe they could be more specific. And like, I'm thinking, I don't know. I think that's part of what voting is, to allow people to interpret who and what they think. And so it's okay that people think differently. But when the majority of people vote for something and that's the result, I think you have to give you don't have to. Sports talk, we can debate it forever. But my point is, I think you give the nod and say, like, most people thought this. That's probably what it was. That's my take.
And I think most improved is the one that you can have the most kind of like subjectivity to. But it also goes the same for player of the year and all-stars. Like all-stars, you could vote to someone just because you could vote for, let's say, like Chandler Kramer, because you think he is the best forehand on tour and you think that needs to be all-star worthy. Mm-hmm. You could vote for Corey Ellis, who had an incredible year anyways and just barely missed on the all-stars, because you think he's the best putter on tour and he needs to be at the all-stars. Like there's all these different things you could choose to why they earn it. I mean, player of the year, it might not, like, people could choose different things. I mean, I think it should be who had the best season, but some people might treat it as a little bit like a most improved if they, there's so many ways you could go.
Ken Chapman makes a good point in our chat. Longtime listener. I think first episode ever. Now we're at 114. He says, if there was a formula, there wouldn't need to be a vote. There you go. Hey. Go to statmando.com for the formula if you want. I mean, you can see all the time who's where and what. All right. Did we kind of... Go ahead.
We have our player of the year one that's going to... We have it going throughout the calendar year, but it's... Mm-hmm. It's probably going to line in the same way that the disc golf Pro Tour player of the years went.
Probably.
I want to touch on the second and third card all-stars real quick, but make it brief.
No, yeah,
I guess you can. Go ahead.
I guess.
So, when you guys, listening audience, when we hang up the show, guess what Ben and Matt do?
We talk.
No. Yeah, we make fun of the chat. No, I'm kidding. We go on, we produce, or we edit, and we do. So we're here another hour. So you guys keep talking. Just keep talking.
In addition, because we talk a lot, so that adds to it.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm just joking. Go ahead.
So the first card all-stars for both divisions were decided by points and where you finished the season. So Kristen Tatar, Paige Pierce, Katrina Allen, and Owen Scoggins, who finished fourth from the game earlier, all got not only a bye in the Tour Championship, but also a clinch spot in the All-Stars. And that left everyone else, I believe, in the top 50 up to vote. And your second card All-Stars will be Valerie Mandojano and Missy Gannon starting it off. They both had over 90% of the media votes and both had over 70% of the fan votes. By far the leaders in that, and not only being the fifth and sixth next points, fifth and sixth place. So the next people on the points. And then rounding it out, you have Evelina Salonen and Kat Mersch, who both did super well in both votings. I mean, Evelina was one of the top. I think she was fourth overall, but did incredibly good in the points and also at majors and Tour Championship. Third card all-stars, you have Henna Blomroos, Holland Hanley, Sarah Hokum, and Ella Hansen. Ella Hansen, I think, had the third most media votes. 86% of media voted her as an all-star. Had an incredible season. She was one of the people that we said could be in most improved. And Sarah Hokum was, I think, well deserving, but maybe was the one towards the edge. She only got 33% of media votes. She even got more fan votes, being 41%. But thanks to good Pro Tour finish and average finish at majors and tour championship, she made it in.
Okay. Nick, does this satisfy the Discura discussion, or do we got more? Evan, I heard you got more.
Well, we got MPO, so let's touch that, and then we can round it out.
Cool.
So again, Ricky, Paul, Calvin, and Gannon, they all got the locked. Second card All-Stars were Chris Dickerson, Simon Lizotte, Matt Oram, and Isaac Robinson. I think they were the 4 most media voted for and fan voted for, in addition to also points and the average finish. Then third card All-Stars were Joel Freeman, Kyle Klein, Kevin Jones, and James Conrad. Kind of like Sarah Hokum, Kevin Jones and James Conrad did a little bit worse in the media voting, but still had a lot of fan votes and clinched their spot still. Joel Freeman was a little bit surprising. I mean, he only got 18% of the fan votes, but he did good enough in the media voting, and he was 7th in Disc Golf Pro Tour points, so he earned that spot. But you can kind of see how some people feel. But Corey Ellis was the first one out. He did super well, and I mean, if you look at the total numbers, it's almost like there was 9 people deserving to be second and third card All-Stars.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's only 8. So he just barely missed out. He had 58% of the media votes, did incredible. Unfortunately, his majors and tour championship were just not good enough to squeeze into that last spot. Again, it stinks that you wish there could be 9, because it's like, who do you knock out to get him in? But that's what it is sometimes.
Dang. Do we know everything All-Star related for next year? Is it happening in Tucson again? Is it
in February?
All that in February.
I think it's back at the same spot. I just saw them actually post about it, I think, or they sent an email out about it in their press release today. Let me see.
Yeah, and if so, that's a fantastic spot.
It actually seemed like a really cool spot last year. I'm curious to see. It's obviously it's improved from 2 years ago, and hopefully it'll improve from last year. I did enjoy watching the All-Star stuff last year.
I'm trying to see here. I'm doing a quick scroll. They sent out a huge press release today. So I don't see it, but it's
Paul
here
and Ricky
somewhere.
didn't even go to the All-Star event, did they, last year? Like, wasn't that when Ricky switched sponsorships and said he wanted to train more, and then Paul
had the, kind of seemed like he had a family vacation already planned, and kind of late notice decided not to go.
It just simply says, we are poised to tackle the largest ever season, starting with February's All-Star weekend. That's all it says. So
all right, there we go. Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll get more info on it, on their form structure and all that stuff. So
yeah, and All-Stars in 2021, I mean, with COVID, was kind of a little bit, it was just kind of a little bit late and kind of undecided where it was. In 2022, it seemed like they got a really good spot and a lot better idea having it be in the Southwest. So that way it was a shorter trip to Vegas. Yeah. I think they'll probably stick with that idea, would be my guess. And I think that's a lot better. The players can kind of know what to expect this year. And it was a fantastic event. I mean, they stayed in a great resort in that course. It just looked like an all-star event. It seemed like they kind of found what they're going for.
Yeah.
So I think players will be able to adapt to that.
Agreed.
I'm over here laughing. This is the show that never ends, but Ben's over here in the chat going, let's vote for who's the favorite chat people in the chat. So he just puts the names of 6 people in the chat, and people are voting for who their favorite is. So it's kind of funny. People are trying to buy votes. I'll make you cookies. I'll give free swag. It's pretty crazy. So if you don't join the Nick and Matt show live, the chat is a totally different way to interact with the show.
Ken Chapman's winning.
Ken should be winning.
We had somebody in here tonight.
Nick has favorites.
Say this, and I'll just shout it out and we'll close it up. I love the Nick and Matt show. Very interactive. I feel like part of the show. Keep up the great work. So whatever that means to you, we're glad that you're able to experience that.
That's a part of my, I guess that's a role of mine.
It is. You hold it down in the
show
chat.
Experience. Whoa.
We need to hire you. You move up. We'll hire another intern.
Show experience.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, we made it.
Ben will always be intern Ben. Well, we made it. That was our
Ben.
Discura discussion for the night. Discura just dropped a bunch of new stuff on DiscuraDG.com. Go ahead, check it out. Use code Nick and Matt at checkout for 10% off. Got some really, really cool hoodies for the winter season. And if you're somewhere where you don't really need a hoodie, I'm jealous of you, because in Tennessee right now, it was 39 degrees today, so it sucked. Are we at the end of the show? Are we calling it?
Holy
All
smokes,
right,
dude.
everybody,
2
thank you for
hours and
tuning
20
in.
minutes.
Yeah, everyone, thank you for tuning in tonight. 2 awesome guests tonight, being Nikko Locastro and Paul McBeth, the old world and the new world champion.
Let's go.
So don't forget to like us on all.
And those who know will know, and the future world champion. Did you ever see Nikko change his PDGA name? Did you ever see that? Nikko, future world champion Locastro. It was his official PDGA name. So there you go.
Nice.
New, old, and the future.
New, old, future. We got it all covered here on the Nick and Matt Show. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube channel. Check us out on all your favorite podcast platforms. Leave reviews, 5 stars, 4 stars, preferably 5 stars. Do your thing. Guys, we'll see you next week. Tell someone you love them. Catch you in the next one.
Ben, you're awesome. Nick, you're awesome. Evan, you're awesome. And Kent wins in the chat poll for this week. We'll do another one.
Go
See you all
Cats.
out there. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.
The Nick and Matt Show, a disc golf podcast designed for you, the disc golfer. Find the Nick and Matt Show on your favorite podcast platforms or join the conversation live on YouTube.